Roll call.
Kaya.
Ryan.
Mikey.
Kyle.
And Steven! Welcome back, everybody, to episode 3 of our Elemental Evils campaign in Mulmaster, City of Danger. This one, we're going to give another TBD title until we find out where exactly we're going. So let's break down what happened last time with our favorite characters in Mulmaster. When we picked up with our characters, they were just finishing a lunch before getting their various assignments from Saul. Rory got a second shot at being a strong man, which turned out to be even more disastrously entertaining than it was the first time, taking a sledgehammer in a fountain of Jack and Jove were guarding the front entrance, with Jasper losing a gold coin to Jove over Rory's lack of iron guts. Jove had a conversation with Sebastian Stowe, the young noble who had an altercation with his father, Zorblaze Stowe, the day before, who had kicked Jove in the chest, and kind of gave some context to that whole exchange. Lastly, we had our very own cloak / bard, Freddy, who was put on Thayan duty and brought Throndrazi, a red wizard of Thay, from the outside into the private chambers of Mistress Vaj, and got to see Saul when Saul was in company of the nobles, and was able to stifle a laugh at that one, but got to see a different side of the Mulmaster crowd. During kind of the festivities of the day, Rory was approached with a job from the owner of the Oxpit Tavern, a one individual known as Krumeg, a short human with a tinge of green skin and larger kind of lower jaw incisors, hinting at perhaps some orcish bloodline in the past, invited Rory out for a job, which Rory invited the rest of the party. You all went to the Oxpit Tavern and found seating there, where you were given the job of investigating some vandalism of increasingly violent nature that Krumeg thought was one of his fellow tavern rivals trying to muscle him out after being so successful with his latest brew, Full Sail Brew. You guys locked yourselves in, or locked into the Oxpit Tavern, and began to investigate, looking for signs of vandalism, when Rory and Jove discovered a ever-increasing kind of thudding sound coming from the north parts of the cellar wall before a hole blast forth open. And instead of a bunch of vandals or a monster, it was a single gnomish woman known as Yavendel, who began to explain her connections to the Emerald Enclave before a rather sizable pit opened up beneath her and she fell deeper into these tunnels. The party, wanting to know what was going on and to make good on their job, investigated, scaling down this 80-foot hole before following a set of tunnels led by the Ranger Jove, narrowly missing a spot for a potential cave-in and coming into a rather deadly encounter with some giant badgers that Yavendel had been following. There, not only did Jasper go down after 2 devastating critical 20s, but Freddy found a mostly devoured corpse of some miner with a note explaining some of the vandalism that had been going on at the Oxpit Tavern, as well as a scroll of Speak with Animals, which, upon using, distracted one of the giant badgers before getting stabbed straight in the gut by Jove, but with the last dying breath commented that the cult of Crushing Earth had called and that the badgers had answered. With a healing spell from Freddy, the party got back up on their feet and didn't have much time to react before screams further down the tunnel drew their attention. You all made your way down the tunnel to see Yavendel the gnome being munched upon by this awful arachnid / praying mantis, hard exoskeleton, evil bug guy from Men in Black, which we now know as an Ankhed, currently chewing on her with a large mandibles full of acid. Another fight ensued with, I believe, was it Jove? You got the final hit on that one?
I did, yeah.
Got
Yep,
the javelin kill.
with the javelin kill. Yavendel, who was healed by Rory, was able to survive the encounter. With really the only thing being lost was Job's hunting knife, trying to get one of these mandibles off the Ankh head. The party made an exchange for this golden band with strange runic kind of markings all around the outside, which Freddy did make a drawing of, or wrote down what was on the outside, copied whatever script this happens to be in, and they were paid an extra 40 gold for giving up this kind of gold band on the Ankh head. It was a trek out into finding kind of the ends of these tunnels leading out to a shut down mine from some time ago. Jove was offered a invitation to try a bit outside of Mulemaster. The party returned, gave Crewmeg the evidence that they had found, were paid for the rest of their troubles, and enjoyed, one last good thing of full brew before our adventure ended. Now, we return 2 days later, um, the day after our last adventure. Mistress Vaj's kind of backyard court, as it is called, has been in kind of a huge construction flurry as a large stage has been built out with ramps on each side. You've seen three kind of caravan like carts be pulled in and set up. There are curtains set upon the stage, a large number of audience seatings that kind of rise, moving away from the stage, have been built right up against kind of the back of the Mistress Vaj estate, and there are tales of a one Mrs. So that's MS period MYS Miss Fearnaval to perform the following day. And while it is a boring day for the lot of you, we return on the 6th day of Mistress Vaj's 10-day party. It begins with Freddy. Freddy, you are currently following Saul down into the seamstress's chambers. Picking up from the conversation, we begin with, "So I don't know how you keep doing it, kid, but everywhere you go, you're just absolute money. Doesn't matter if we got you playing for people who are getting thrown up on. Doesn't matter if you're meeting with them that day, lady. You're just crushing it right now. So you gotta look the part. Come here, Mistress Vaj has something special for you." As it begins leading you down to the seamstress's quarters.
I'm getting something fancy?
Yeah. See, I don't know what exactly you said to that, what they call that Thavian lady, but apparently you're quite charming. So, if I gotta get dressed up to be around them, you's got to get dressed up to be around them. And as you turn the corner, you see, you look into a seamstress chamber, which you are familiar with. There's a number of fabrics that kind of litter the floor. You can see a trail of empty spaces for someone to step in, and the big Popeye arms of Binnancy in the back working on an outfit that's currently cloaked under a mannequin. Hey, so you know Binnancy, huh?
Yeah, we've met before.
Binnancy looks up, meets your gaze, and with more neutrality than you may have been expecting, nods, says, "Hey, Freddy.
Hey, how's it? How are things?
Been better, been worse, but what can I do for you?"
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, no,
oh, you got it.
I got this. Come on. The thing you've been working on. And Binnancy goes over and kind of unfolds, kind of unveils this mannequin. You can see in a mostly kind of red outfit with, kind of strong shoulders with colors of like yellow, orange, and green. Think almost very much like the nobility wear for like Fable 2. What like Reaver would have worn. set in just about your size, is kind of revealed with bits of fur in, instead of black and white, more of like warm browns, very mole mastery with the furs is set in front of you.
So do I just wear this at all times now?
Well, once this whole Fearnval thing gets set up, you're gonna change into this. You're gonna go meet the Red Lady and Mistress Vaj, and you're gonna be their escort for the evening. Talk to them, do
Oh,
whatever it is you're supposed to do.
escort service, huh?
Yeah. Lucky you. That one of them red wizards really likes you, kid.
Alright, I guess I'll figure out what that means later.
Your guess is as good as mine, kid. I don't understand those things at all.
Well, I best go get changed.
Yeah, I would do that,
Where
unless she
where
brings you
do
back like
I
a pet.
where do I put my current clothing? Do I just where do
Yeah,
I
yeah. You go
I
ahead.
guess
I'll sit you up
okay.
in a lock in the quarters. Don't you worry about it. We got you taken
Okay.
care of. So Freddie, as you start switching into this, Saul, get you, the equivalent of like a locker, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of the quarter servants. While this is going on, Rory, after 2 days of two different performances of throwing up on yourself and others, you have been given a new task. Through Crewmeg, they're currently setting up kind of a small ox pit tavern. Kind of think of it like not quite like a food truck, but more of like a testing table for some of the kind of the new brews they've been working on. So you have been brought in to pour drinks and not get hit in the stomach so many times. I need you to make me a dexterity, a not dexterity saving throw, a sleight of hand check.
And do. That is gonna be a 10.
A 10. You're decent at it. Um, Handing out drinks, only like one spill, and it was on a couple of, luckily not nobility. But you work closely with Crewmeg during this and kind of watching. Um, at first, it starts off pretty easy, but as the day goes on and the Fear Naval gets set up more and more, you start seeing more and more business, more people coming in and out. Go ahead and make me a second sleight of hand check.
That one a lot better for 19.
19. By the end of the day, you are, you are moving from one side of the table to the other, handing out, full things of, full sale. It's almost kind of like watching an airbender kind of just spin from one side to the other. You're like a little tornado of drink handling.
Never thought I could be much of someone working at a bar, but hey, maybe there's something there.
Whilst you are handling these drinks, Jasper and Jove, during this kind of 6 day, your task is to assist with Miss and her kind of oddities. You meet Miss. She is a human woman, probably in her late 30s, maybe early 40s, with long dark hair that's pulled into a tight thing of braids. She wears kind of these flowy robes of various different colors, ranging from reds to greens to blues to purples. And as she kind of moves, it always seems to show off a new color that has been wrapped up in there, as she is leading you into towards one of these smaller um, like carnival wagons. So I believe you two are the ones that are supposed to be helping me this evening. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, Miss.
A question for you both. Would you consider yourselves brave?
Absolutely.
I'd say so.
Wonderful. Well, then I most assuredly have use of your skills. Would you willing to be a test audience for part of tonight's show?
Sure.
Yeah, I guess so. Always appreciate a show. Might as well take part.
Excellent. Now, this is a bit of a new development. I used to, well, used to do all sorts of fun tricks on the side of the road, but recently I had a bit of a scare after a telling, and well, I found that fear can be a much greater allure than fear of the future. So, I would like you to simply stand here, watch the performance, and give me your reaction.
Will do.
Oh, all right. Well, so are you wanting us to let you know if it's scary or not?
That would be so helpful.
I think
I
we.
would use just anyone, but to really see if this is coming through, I need someone who's, like you both said, brave.
I think that's within our pay grade.
Excellent, excellent. All right, you both stand here. They pull over, and she motions, and you see some other of the Mrs. workers start pulling back kind of this large tarp that goes up, kind of like an RV tarp. It comes across and kind of shades the area, makes it darker as we go into kind of the mid to late afternoon. And looking forward, it's like one of those classic, think 19 like 20s, like not quite like Greatest Showman, Barnum and Bailey style carnival wagons with kind of like the slots and everything. And at first it's incredibly dark, and then um, there is this kind of music that begins to play. This kind of it starts off soft and almost kind of light, almost staccato, and it begins to build and get larger and sharper, and um, becomes more and more strings, and then some kind of almost like flutes coming in. Think very almost like Insidious. And as this goes through, kind of the sounds of the outside work of, drinks being poured and people rabble rousing about seems to fade, and the music kind of pulls you in more and more. And you see two kind of sharp hands move forward and kind of grip the bars, and then another set of hands, and then another, and another, and another, until all the bars have these kind of like sharp, pointed hands, almost not quite alive, but not quite inorganic either. And as this kind of music hits a kind of a climax, there's a silence in the air. And then from each one of these hands, a face bursts through. Can you both make me wisdom saving throws?
Is this a check against being frightened?
This
Is it
is
so-
indeed a check against being frightened.
Haha! I have brave as a halfling, so I get to roll with advantage.
Nice. So you are actually brave.
I am
Actually
actually
brave.
brave.
Shit. That's a 6.
A
Wisdom's
6?
my dump stat.
Well, I crit failed, so I get my lucky. So
You bitch.
Dirty.
Lucky and brave.
And you know what? Out of all of that, I still only got a 12.
So
Wow.
only got a 12. You both feel like as the faces peer through, each of you sees something different. For you, Jove, you see the faces of the Cult of the Dragon from Flan. You see Fafnir the Venomous. You see the Hobgoblin Captains. You see the Half-Dragon Ends. You see just that complete moment of just powerlessness and poison kind of around, and it just you just feel it tighten in your chest. And then Jasper, you see family members, and you see them completely open, seeing you, and you feel that just kind of your life running away from you. You feel just that powerlessness, that infirmness, that petiteness almost that you hate so much, and you're both currently paralyzed. As the hands all kind of pull back and these faces kind of fade, the tarp sucks back in like it's on a belt, just, and the afternoon light, hits you now, getting closer and closer to evening, and Miss comes around from the side and says, "All right, so, scary?"
Assuming the paralysis is worn off at this point.
There's a couple of 1001, 1002, 1003. About 6 to 10 seconds go by before when you feel you just kind of feel the unclenching of both your body and your kind of soul underneath, just and you feel yourself able to move again.
I would describe that as quite effective at terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's mighty unpleasant right there. What I just saw, don't know how you're showing it to me, but yeah, I was hoping not to drudge some of that up again so soon.
So
I don't know how entertaining this is going to be for folks, I'll tell you that.
well, let me ask
Yeah,
you,
not
do you feel
exactly.
much better now that you're no longer terrified?
Maybe if it wasn't so personal, it kind of sits with you different than a cheap thrill.
Less
Well,
personal,
and I
less
don't know
personal.
what the average person has gone through. Maybe it's just Jasper and myself has seen too much of the dark underbelly of this here life. But if you're setting shop up here in Mulemaster, I feel like we're not the only one carrying some baggage around here.
So describing it as perhaps too much.
Yeah, or if you can find that level of intensity in a less personal subject area, I think it would be quite effective.
Yeah, if it was just a bunch of spiders or something like that, that would be perfectly fine. Give you the creepy crawlies, but not the make you want to write home to your parents type of scared.
But certainly
spooky.
impressive stuff you've got going on here.
Wow, this has been phenomenal. Could I count on you both to be in the front by the stage, just in case this does get too personal? You can, of course, have your backs to the stage and can keep an eye on other people, if that's how effective it was.
Yeah, as long as I don't gotta look at it again, I think I can do that.
No. Perhaps this is still in the work, and there are other things, other performances. So, but thank you both so much. This has been quite insightful.
Happy to help, miss.
That's Miss. But yes, you can count on us.
She smiles to both of you and nods and kind of a whirl of colors. She's again moving as the day turns into night. As Jasper and Job, you take your spots kind of at the front of the stage. There are two kind of heightened platforms for you both to kind of stand there, keeping Job, even you can kind of see towards the crowds. Jasper, your head, probably a good foot or so above the stage. Enough for you both to see and be present, but not enough to get in the way of the show. Rory, you are hustling and bustling. You are at full speed right now as more and more people are pooling in, and you're hearing more excitement as the show is about to begin. Can I have Rory, Jasper, and Jove all make me perception checks?
Absolutely.
Would love to.
Passive 12.
That's
Is
12.
16.
16.
As an 18.
Jove, you're still feeling a little shook. after that, looking over and just kind of you're currently in a nostalgia wagon, and it's not very nostalgic.
Mm.
Rory, you looking around. Rory, I will say Rory and Jasper. You both notice a noble, and the reason you notice this noble is one, because they are increasingly better dressed than everybody else here. However, this is. Can you both roll me insight?
Sure. 18.
1.
One.
Oof.
Jasper, you actually start avoiding his gaze because you know he's a noble and you want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Rory, instead, you recognize because this is the noble that kicked Job square in the chest.
Oh, I've heard tale of him.
Yeah, and if you heard tales, like you're up on that stage, you're kind of in the middle of something, but with that, you definitely saw Job get kicked in the chest.
Dang. Okay, so I do recognize him. Good to know.
You recognize and you see him kind of moving through the crowd, flanked by two kind of burly-looking dwarves, as he appears to take, a seat, searching for somebody. Jasper, while you're looking away, you do see Delora, the half-elven woman with the black hair and the blue highlights, except she's by herself this time. And you kind of looking around and looking for everywhere else except for where that noble's at. You see that she you can't seem to find Leandra anywhere.
Lyrene or
Lyrene, my bad. Sorry,
Okay, no
else.
problem. Interesting. Where the show hasn't started yet or anything, right?
It's getting closer and closer. It's in that you've done theater.
Yeah.
Not quite time for curtains to fall, but you know that time is getting short.
She'll like if Delora is somewhere like on the edge of the audience, like Jasper will go over and just be like, "Where's your friend? He's always attached at the hip to Lyrene."
Oh, she's not my friend. She's actually my sister. But yeah, no, she's around. It's just really busy tonight. So moving double time. Go ahead and roll me insight on that, Jasper.
I will do my best. Oh, nice. 17.
17. She is lying.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Interesting. Does she seem like? Is it like does she seem like she's actually kind of like sweating it, or does she seem like cool as a cucumber, but like definitely something's off?
She is covering is the type of lie I would say.
Okay.
That she was not expect that she is trying to cover for someone else's absence.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, Jasper says, I'm not on like anyone's, side here. I've got a job, but you seem like decent folks. So if you need help with anything, just let me know.
She looks at you and Jasper, make me a persuasion check.
Okay, I'm actually supposed to be decent at that. That's 11.
11.
Or no, a 9. Sorry,
9.
I misread that.
She smiles at you and says, "Yeah, no, you got it, Jasper. If anything comes up, no, really, everything's fine." and she smiles real big for you, and goes off and begins making her way through the crowd. Na, 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 na.
Well, Jasper returns to her post and tells Job about that little interaction.
And Joe will make note of that and kind of keep his eye out throughout the crowd, just in case he sees her.
Gotcha. So the performance, the kind of, you see that there are big kind of like brazier sets about that kind of light up and provide kind of big areas of warmth as um, the sky begins to darken. It becomes night. The wind sits in, but with this many people, kind of the big braziers, it almost creates kind of like a penguin heat bubble of just so many people here. Freddie, the outfit is incredibly nice. However, so much of it has so many like weird tassels and little like loops and such. It takes longer than you were anticipating. It's the right fit, but everything just feels stiff, and it almost feels like you're almost kind of afraid to sit in it. It kind of feels that nice before Saul kind of comes back and, hey, you don't look half bad there, Freddy.
Yeah, it's not really looking bad that I'm worried about. You said that I just have to wear this when I'm around the Thavian dame, right?
Yeah. You couldn't wear that every single day. I mean, I would understand why you'd want to, looking so good there, kid. But nah, just when you're supposed to be, like, what do they call them, like an aide de camp or something like that.
Doing the escort service.
Yeah, being a cloak and being, young and good looking and all that good stuff. You make people look real at ease, kid.
All right, I'll take it into consideration.
All right, come on. Let's get you set up and Thrun. All right, kid, help me out here. What's her name? It starts with Thra. So
Thrundrazi.
Throndrazi.
Thrundrazi.
Throndrazi. Ugh. Fucking. Who the fuck names their kid that? Throndrazi.
Probably Thrundrami or
Okay.
Thrundrani. They're not really original a lot of times.
Man, how'd you know all this stuff? This sounds real smart.
I don't know. I just like to make it up. But the fact that you believe me tells me I'm getting somewhere.
You son of a bitch. All right, let's get at it. As you and Saul once again, in his nicer kind of red wear, leads you up into that, big, mahogany door that we were talking about. And all right, here we go. Knocks on it and opens up, and there is of course Thrindrazi in very similar, all red attire, the same shaved head, tan skin. Um, the dress itself looks like it's a little made of thicker material than the first one, but still that same red wizard style with kind of the um, lots of angular shapes inside, kind of the robes, very kind of open towards the front, larger, flowy. And then behind you see Mistress Vaj, whose um, gigantic kind of fro has now been pulled into kind of like three buns, and each one has like a circlet of fine metals that kind of surround it, creating kind of like an upside down triangle pattern to kind of like the back of her head. She's got this long, long flowing dress with the long gloves that come out, the big kind of upper poofy sleeves, and then around the kind of the midsection, almost like a corset, but with like animal furs that kind of line through it, and it also trails long behind her. And Thrindrazi sees you, Freddy, says, hello, Freddy.
Hello, Thrundrazi. Ladies, I've been told that my presence has been requested What would you ask of me?
Oh, Freddy, I would ask you that accompany us to this Fear Navarre. You are such a character. I had a few inquiries I would like to make of you. If you
Wow, escort
don't
service and you asked me some inquiries. This is a serious night, huh?
depends entirely upon your answers. And Mistress Vaj kind of looks. Roll me an insight check, Freddy.
Insight. Not very good at that. And I rolled low, so that's a 2.
2. Yeah, she kind of scary. She doesn't look nearly as pleased as Thrindrazi does to be speaking to you.
Hmm.
But Thrindrazi kind of offers out. She grabs your arm politely. I believe they have seats waiting for us. Care to lead the way?
I shall lead the way. And I hesitantly just like turn towards the door and awkwardly like lead the way out.
Make me a performance check.
That's something I'm good at. Didn't roll great. That's a 15.
A 15? Yeah, your heart is pounding between just kind of the not not really being able to read Mr. Savage and just, now that this Thane woman is, has hands on you and she's just uh even though the room is warm, she feels very cold. Like she looks like she should be warm, but it kind of sends a chill into you. But you hold it together. You're a performer, performance first always, and you
Mhm.
stick out your chest and you lead the way. And on the outside, you look calm and ready to drop bombs, but you
But
keep
I
on
keep on
forgetting.
forgetting.
As you are
Vaj's spaghetti.
Vaja's spaghetti +1.
Hey.
As
Y'all are
you're
falling behind. That's my third.
Jeez.
as you are kind of going down the steps, yes. Freddy, you're clearly a spellcaster, correct?
The pendant should say it all. Am I supposed to still be wearing my pendant with this, or is that something that they would want me to take off?
That's up to you.
I feel like part of her draw to me was the fact that I was a cloak, so if I'm gonna be seen with her, I feel like that would be something that she'd want to be seen with.
Yes, absolutely.
So
That
I'll
is on
keep
your
it worn.
person.
Yeah, I'll keep it on. Yeah, I guess the medallion should speak for itself. There's not too many non-spellcasters that I know that are part of the cloaks.
Well, I don't have a myriad of experiences with the cloaks, and I'd rather you speak rather than your medallion. Tell me, what do you think of the 7 schools of magic?
Well, I haven't done too much studying, but whatever floats your boat, I guess, is my viewpoint. You do what you gotta do, and whatever happens, happens. And then if you do the bad happenings, then bad happenings gonna happen to you.
Huh. And is there a school of magic that you prefer?
Mm, good question. Um, I do like the flashy stuff, which oftentimes either gets me into the evocations or the transmutations.
Evocation and transmutation. I had you pegged wrong. I would have figured you'd been more into enchantment and to illusion. How delightful.
Yeah, I mean that's all fun too. Like I said, whatever floats your boat. Different spell, different day.
Oh, there's so many. You're so right, Freddy. Now, if it were up to you, do you feel everyone should have a chance at magic?
Do I feel everyone should have a chance? I
Absolutely, magic can be taught.
Magic can be taught. You're talking like wizard stuff.
Arcanic magic. if one were to be more specific, but yes, wizardry. I think
Uh,
my own attire speaks for itself on where I stand on wizardry.
I mean, I'm glad that it's possible for people to learn magic, but I do think that there's some people that are gonna use it for the wrong things. Like I said, if you do bad happenings, I would hope that bad happenings happen to whomever that may be.
You know, there's a saying in Thay, Freddy, that information, knowledge, is its own magic. Do you think there's any truth or wisdom in that?
No, no, knowledge is knowledge. Magic is magic. I know what knowledge is. Knowledge is a thing, and you know it or you don't. Magic is something very special, and I kind of see the connection you're getting at. Your knowledge can lead to magic, but that does not make it magic.
I think you would find Thay to be quite a confusing place with that kind of mindset. But I
Well,
do
I'm not
feel like
from
I
there.
know you. Oh no, clearly you're not. Thank you for the insight into what a mole master believes of magic.
Yeah, maybe you can escort me around Thay sometime.
Oh, I think we would have a lovely time in Thay. But let us see what this Fear Naval has in store. I'll tell you right now, I don't frighten easily.
I wish I could see the same for myself, but I have been known to change my pants on occasion.
And she smiles and laughs lightly, but it's the loudest kind of burst from her that you've heard in the last couple days you've seen her. As
Mhm.
you take your seats, with you on the outside, then Thrundrazi, then Mistress Vaj, and then Saul on the outside, in kind of uh, a very easy to find, much nicer kind of area risen above everyone else, looking directly at the stage. All the sorts of velvets. There's even a small kind of brazier like in your area that keeps the temperature just right, even though it's beginning to be a cold evening in Mulmaster. As we all take our uh, different places to watch this performance, Miss comes out and uh, this kind of rowdy crowd begins to quiet as she is now switched to all dark clothing, the kind of just myriad of different reds and blues and greens and purples have now all been replaced with uh, dark black clothing with slivers of almost reflective materials seem to kind of hang off her, closer to the best reference I kind of have is like it almost flows like a Dementor's cloak on it more than anything else, with kind of the straggly takeaways from it that almost seem to kind of blow through the Mole Master wind as she um, acknowledges the crowd. The crowd goes quiet, and she smiles, looks to the left, looks to the right, and then up towards Mistress Vaj and her guests. And hello, and her voice comes out far louder than you would have anticipated. Welcome to the Firnaval. You are going to see many things of great wonder, of great excitement, and of great danger. I promise, as Miss, that you are in no real danger. Do not be afraid. What you see is only performance. But in our performances comes truth. And inside truth, nightmares. And there's a as all the curtains kind of pull back with unnatural speed, and she slinks back almost into like a solid darkness, and moving forward, there's this ching, ching, ting, ting, as if like these huge wheels or like huge gears are grinding, moving forward, and there's a large, almost crystal ball, at least 10 by 10 in every direction, with almost like hexagonal patterns that go all the way across it. And you can see it light up through kind of the big braziers on the side as it reflects the light out in different areas. And there's a quiet and dun 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 as like a kind of a quartet of violins begins to set in the background. And as it gets closer and closer to the stage, these violins get louder and more staccato, and that same kind of uproarious screeching sound. And it sounds almost as if the strings are going to break. A light kind of erupts from the center of this giant glass ball, and like a horrifying disco ball, there's a creature that is illuminated inside. It has one large, awful purple eye, its skin a smattering of green and black and purple scales, not draconic, but not anything like put together in ways that just are contrary to how organic life should be, and kind of four tentacles with huge eye stalks at each end, and these awful beams of colors that seem to go in black and gray but are light even in the darkness shine out. Can I have everybody except for Jasper and Jove to make wisdom saving throws? So I believe that's Rory and Friendy.
Yeah.
Question: is this a save from being frightened essentially, or
Indeed.
I get advantage on that due to being Gith?
2 party members with advantage on being frightened. Who would have thought?
Huzzah.
I need to re-roll that one. That was cocked. Okay, so 14.
Okay. 0.
0.
Shit in your new furs, bro.
Yeah,
I said I've been known to change my pants.
Freddy, you live up to your word completely, as this thing is horrifying. One of these kind of like beams of light hits you square in the chest, and it's like it ripped out all the warmth from not only your body but your memories, and it's just you're like, yep, well, these clothes are ruined. Rory, with that was a 14.
Yes.
With a 14, one of them hits you, and you've got a good number of tankards in hand, and you feel your body begin to go cold from that fear. But it simply reminds you of the cold of the monastery, the fear of looking over against the glacier of the White Worm for the first time at the top, and you are able to conquer that fear as you have done in the past. And continue working. There is a large Freddy, as you are having this. Thrundrazi actually laughs and claps her hands during this. Mistress Vaj lets out a big old shriek. Same with Saul. It appears that only Thrundrazi herself seemed to find enjoyment of this, and you see there's some people begin laughing, and you see some people run from kind of the crowd, and in that one awful moment of light, there's just kind of half hysterical, half fearful kind of wail that comes from the crowd before you hear the sound of tons of small creatures scurrying about, and from the crowd you see little lights begin to go off, like one here and then another, and they all begin coming in closer and closer, lighting up the crowd, kind of drowning out and blackening this kind of orb with this creature in it. And from the orb, around the back, there is this sound of even more legs, like hundreds of legs on top of all these smaller legs. It's almost deafening how many small legs are chittering about. before surrounding this kind of big glass eye. There is this blue streaked, many legged, draconic looking creature that sits up about it, curls around almost kind of like the dragon from Dragon Ball Z. It must be at least 10 feet in length as it goes up to the top. And does anybody speak Draconic?
No.
Nope.
Nope. How weird. There is this large chanting noise. It's like singing, but not in a language that anybody understands. And it gets kind of lower and deeper, and that's when the blue light begins to emit. As all these lights are coming forth from the crowd, going closer and closer, there is this blue kind of crackle that goes up through this creature. It's got sharp, almost feline-like eyes that stare out in yellow and blue, out upon the crowd as its song kind of builds and builds and builds. Jove,
Yes.
make me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. All right. Ooh, that is a 13.
A 13. As this kind of creature gets brighter and brighter and brighter, the lights from the crowd get brighter and brighter, and there's this Jove, you feel it right behind you as this creature kind of dives down. Freddy and Rory, you're watching as it gets right up behind Jove and says something in a language, this dark, just and as it breathes out, you have just enough time to kind of begin falling forward as your backpack and everything from behind is blasted with this just almost beam of electrical energy as it all goes white and it shoots off to the side. There's a cry as people start running and screaming from the crowds. These little lights in the audience get closer and closer. There's a huge, large flash as this creature goes almost petrified, stunned, but without any of the stone, and it mechanically almost pulls itself back as you see these little mouse-like creatures with enlarged craniums that seem to glow all surround it and begin to back it into kind of the stage. Miss runs out in kind of a panic, and it is all right, we have everything under control. Jove, you see this kind of large flash, and as it hits you in the back, you surely think that you must have died. And when the light kind of stops blinding you for a second, all comes back, you just hear a crack from kind of behind you. It doesn't feel like it, but you hear it, and it kind of snaps you back, and putting your hands over yourself, your backpack is absolutely destroyed. The outsides of it, charred and burnt in many places. So whatever you have in there, much of it is kind of spread out over the ground, and kind of right in front of you is your grandfather's prized possession. Its rocky form kind of rolled out in front of you, and you kind of reach out as it all comes back to you, and there's a crack in it for the first time. And just for a moment, you swear you can see different metallic colors kind of shining through it before kind of your eyes adjust to the light and the dark and the screaming and everything, and you're looking at just this cracked stone that you have in front of you.
And he's going to kind of like Gandalf when he's covering the Palantir. He's going to take whatever loose piece of clothing that he has, up to and including just unclipping his cloak or whatever he can, and he's going to try and whisk up that particular possession and kind of. He's gonna go ahead and pick it up, and that shook him, and so he's gonna kind of head for the corner, kind of heading towards wherever the servants' quarters are. So he'll scoop that up and not even really pay attention to Jasper or anything. He pretty much picks that up and he darts for whatever closest exit he can. He just needs some air.
Yeah, Jove, you are swept up in a mass of people, all trying to leave the estates. You know, Jasper, you feel just kind of like you taste this metal. You can feel all the hair on your whole body stand up. You can. It almost even looks like your armor is kind of glowing in this after dusk as you watch these large brained kind of rats like pushing this large draconic creature back into it. You can, now that you're looking back in there, roll me a perception check, Jasper.
Okay. Oh my god. 8.
8.
And 10 is my passive. Or no, sorry, 9 is my passive.
9. Yeah, you see it get pushed back into kind of the deep, and you can hear some large, metal clicking and other sounds of, kind of rattling around through there. But looking up, you 1 second, there's kind of that big flash, and looking back, you see that scene before looking for Jove, and Jove is gone. Just kind of a big scorched bark where he was standing.
Shit. I look for what's her name? Who I talked to earlier?
Delora?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
God, 11.
11. Yeah, looking around, you don't see Delora wrapped up in the crowd. Your eyes actually focus on over towards Mistress Vage's section, which is, I mean, anybody can see it because they have their own kind of box and booth, and you can you see Freddy up there in kind of his niceties instead, and that kind of draws your attention.
Sorry, describe it one more time.
You don't see Delora. You look up and you see Freddy instead, in kind of Mistress Vage's kind of suites, with a rather green expression on his face.
I'll go to him then.
For Freddy, for you seeing this, you see, while Mistress Vage and definitely lets out kind of a big noblewoman scream. Throndrazi reaches in and has a book pulled out. It's this red leather tomed with, all just this big symbol of Thay on kind of the front of it, and is open, and she has one hand out before the kind of all these little lights, those rats begin to push this kind of creature back, and she closes the book and slides it back into one of her kind of one of these robed arms, kind of sleeves, I should say. So it shifts back in, and she puts it away.
I'm still a little petrified. I don't really know what's going on.
Rory, there is just kind of a wave of people, and suddenly you find that many of your tankards have been absconded with during this kind of ensuing panic. People grabbing and just taking, moving. After all is said and done, Miss kind of apologizes and is addressing the crowd, and quickly you can see begins kind of packing things up. Mistress Vage and Saul begin making their way back. There's some people that are still out and about, but the party goes from very lively to very kind of dour all at the same time. Rory, give me a perception check.
That's a 17.
17. Rory, as you're looking through, you do see Jove just kind of his back, like his clothing charred and blackened, him kind of holding something and making his way in a daze that you haven't seen Jove like since you've been working with him.
Gotcha. Rory would in the midst of everything going on would head straight over to Jove at that point, and would if he's in kind of a daze, would also put like a hand on his shoulder coming from behind and just, Jove, are you okay?
And you kind of almost expect him to jump a little bit, when you put your hand on his shoulder, but he kind of slowly turns around and kind of looks through you for a second with that 1,000-yard stare before he meets your eyes, Rornak, and says, Rornak, I ask you this in all seriousness. Are we friends?
Yeah, I mean, I consider you one of the few I have right now. What's going on?
Look, well, so my gaffer, my grandpa, as you might know it, Caldwell was his name, and he was a bit of an adventurer himself, and my father was his first son, and I'm the first son of my father, and I was given this, and he's going to present, or he's actually kind of uncover the dragon egg. And Dom, do you want to describe the dragon egg? Because I know we kind of had talked about a few things, and you said you had come down on something.
Yeah. So this kind of dragon egg is about the size of like a cantaloupe. So it looks, kind of large in Joe's hands. On the outside, Rory, when you first see it, it looks like just a big rock, like in an egg kind of shape, just kind of a dull brown coverage on it. But you can see as Joe kind of holds it up and you get a better look at it that it does have this strange kind of script that it looks more than chiseled. Like it doesn't have that kind of roughness. You've seen chiseled stuff at the monastery, but it does clearly have some sort of writing, almost like it was formed that way rather than naturally made. However, you
Yeah.
do see that it does have a large kind of crack in it now.
Rornak, the story goes from Gaffer Caldwell that he was gifted this from a dragon one day back when he was traveling and adventuring, and well, he's kept it as his prized possession. My dad thought it was all bull hockey, and he was more focused on the business. And I've traveled a lot for the family business. We've been to many cities throughout the Moonsea, and I've tried to get folks to translate the script on this thing, and they just tell me it's kind of like Draconic, but not really, which makes them think it's a fake. But I've held on that this is real, and that Gaffer Caldwell wouldn't have any reason to lie to me. And well, he told me one day that under the right conditions that the dragon had told him that, I know this might sound silly, but something would come of this egg, something that would bond with my grandfather's bloodline for a long time. And I'm sorry, I'm a little flustered. I don't know what this all means, but I've never seen it do this. I've never seen it make this color. I've had folks that are a little more inclined with magic than myself or yourself, frankly, take a look at it and say that it's just a big old hunk of rock. So that's why I left my post. I know that's a cowardly thing to do, but I simply just had to take it. I didn't know if whatever that thing was going to try and take it from me first. Rornak, I know that we're both strangers in a strange land, and we all have our secrets, and Well, I plan on sharing this with our other friends that we've made here, Jasper, and especially Freddie. Hopefully, Freddie can help me point me in the right direction of maybe this might actually be something. But Rornak, do you know what happened in Flan? Well, I'll take your silences as know that what happened in Flan. But let's just say,
We can't hear you, Ryan.
Yeah,
you're
Ryan, if
talking.
you're speaking, we cannot hear you, unfortunately.
all I know was I was there when that dragon beset Flan, and so I have a feeling that maybe telling too many folks that I may have a real life dragon egg might well attract unwanted attention. But is this one of those with silence things? I don't know. Rornak, best advice I have ever received before. You know what? And he's gonna kind of cover it up again with his cloak. He's kind of like holding it inside. He's still got his cloak on his shoulders, and he's kind of like holding it inside of his cloak, tucked close to his body, like a football. And yeah, and looks at Rornak and says, maybe we should go find our friends here, our other friends. That is.
Well, we're.
Oh, real quick.
There he is.
So sorry, guys. Internet literally died on me in like the middle of Kyle's monologue there. I am so sorry. Oh, okay. I'm on my phone right now for the time being. I will jump back on the computer when I have a chance. I'm so sorry, Kyle. You're like putting your heart out. I'm like, oh, this is so good, and then like you start to like go static, and then it was just dead. I'm so sorry.
I was practicing turn taking, and I was just like, got anything to add? Well,
yeah, I would have loved to. The last bit that I heard was you specifically saying that like the egg would lead to something bonding with you. That's like the last bit that I remember you saying.
Gotcha. Well, I'll quickly recap that for you. Pretty much what I was saying before you kind of your eyes went blank there.
Yeah, I went 1,000 yard on you. I was just
Seems like you had
your
your own little flashback there. But as I was saying, Gaffer Caldwell, he was bequeathed this egg as a gift from a dragon who said that one day it would crack and be linked to our bloodline. And as the first son of Gaffer Caldwell's first son, he gave it to me. And I need to figure out what it is. But one of the other things that I was saying, Rornak, was that not sure if you were familiar with what happened in Flan. I don't know how you couldn't be at this point, but a big old dragon descended upon that city and caused all sorts of wanton destruction and pain. And believe me, I was there and I saw it. So if you can just keep the whole Jove's got a possible dragon egg or something like that between you and I and our other friends Jasper and Freddie, I would appreciate that before we get ahead of ourselves. That is.
Well, we each have our own things that we're going through right now, so your secret's safe with me, but something tells me that with that reaction, you seem pretty convinced that perhaps you're bonding right now, but maybe this isn't the best place to talk about it if you're worried.
And before he like turns to walk back in to find the friends, he's gonna look you straight in the eye, Rornak, and says, "I've always believed that we were gonna bond," and walks away with conviction to find. I guess Jasper would be the first person Jove would be looking for.
All right, Rornak would definitely just follow along with you at that point.
Rory and Joe, roll me a perception check.
That's a passive of 12.
Rory. Oh no, did we lose Ryan again? Oh, there you are.
Nope, we're here. That's a passive 13.
Pass a 13. Yeah, as you know, this place starts. You do see Jasper with her mask, everything is approaching up into that same area with Mistress Vaj, Saul, that Thayan woman, and you can also see as you guys are heading in there. Uh, Rory, you recognize the same noble, and this time, Jove, you do see it. That noble, which Jove, roll me an insight.
I got a 16.
Yeah, you know exactly that is Zor, Zor Blazing Stowe. As you're all kind of convening onto Mistress Vaj and her kind of box. First, Jasper, you're the first one to make it there, and you see kind of everyone but Throndrazi is kind of in a big fearful state, especially Freddy right now. In fact, with your passive, the spell hits you first. You're like, ooh, yucky. But you are the first one on that scene.
And it's only Freddy that we notice in here, right? We don't. Do we see Jasper or?
Oh no, you saw Jasper. Yeah, you picked her out, and then Jasper is the one who is making it to the box first. That's where Freddy, Mistress Vaj, Saul,
Okay.
Throndrazi, and then as you guys are making your way there, you see Sir Zor Blazing Stowe also approaching at the same time. You know, all kind of congregating at the spot at once. But Jasper is the first one there. Jasper, do you want to say anything to Freddy?
Yeah, you doing all right there, Freddy? You look a little shook up.
We're good. It was just really scary what happened, huh? It really just kind of jumped out and really got me. Boo.
Yeah, that was. I don't know how anyone could see that as entertaining.
I mean, Thundrazi over here certainly did, but I guess that's her thing, huh?
I was working for her.
I'm not really working for her. I'm escorting her on the order of Mistress
Yeah,
Vaj.
well, how is it?
Well, she's asking me a lot of magic questions, which I mean, I guess interesting, but I don't know. It's just another job.
Well, did you see anything I wouldn't have noticed? It's hard to see shit with this mask on, to be honest.
You said it was Thundrazi that had the book, right?
Throndrazi did indeed have the book that came out.
Okay. Something happened. The throne had the book, and she said something, but I couldn't really focus on it to tell you anymore.
Jasper looks around for the other two.
Yeah, you don't need a perception check with this one. The rest of Rory and Jove reach you guys up here. As more and more people, some people are leaving, some people are continuing with the revelries. A lot of people are catching their breath. There's more than one person who is crying either out of fear or drunkenness. You know, it's kind of like a total shit show.
Oh, literally.
Smell like shit up here. Smells like bear shit in the woods.
You can say what you want about my act, but it didn't have quite this reaction.
No, yours wasn't really frightening. It was just kind of disgusting.
First off, speaking of reactions, Jasper, I do want to apologize. Well, I was just extolling my bravery not too long ago, and well, I just
Yeah, I thought you got fucking vaporized there for a second.
Well, to be fair, I kind of thought that was the case too. Yeah, again, sorry to leave you there on your own. Had it turned out not to be, well, I'm not exactly sure what that turned out to be in the first place, but I didn't mean to leave you there on your own, is what I'm trying to say.
Should I expect that from you in the future? You're just gonna gonna run off when things get.
Well, let's just
spooky?
say I'm only what I'm 2 for 1 so far. So we'll just keep track and let you decide later.
You know what? That's very fair.
As you guys kind of take a breather and regroup, seeing Saul, Thundrazi, and Mistress Vaj kind of making their way back towards the manor. Thundrazi turns and sees you, Freddy, and gives you a nod, and kind of continues on. As they're leaving, you hear kind of a voice ring out. Mistress Vosh, is this how you treat your guests? Where is my son? What kind of activities are you holding here? And you just hear kind of that build up of a male Karen, a Ken, if you will, beginning to start. As Jove, you look over and you see Sir Blazon Stowe as he has now entered into kind of this area and locks eyes with you. You, the halfling.
Yes, sir.
You know what my son looks like, don't you?
Yeah, no, I remember seeing him. Yes, from the other day. Yeah.
And you recognize that girl that he was with, Helga, Ilga, whatever equally contrite thing.
I didn't get so much a good look at the girl. I was more focused on yourself, sir. With all of the nice clothes, it draws the eye.
Jasper
I'm gonna-
stands directly
I was-
behind Jove.
I was gonna walk up and kind of get in the middle and make as much motion as I can to really get the air just like wafting everywhere, and just say, "Hello, yes, I'm here with the halfling as well, and I might have caught eye of something. You said you were looking for someone. I mean, everyone's kind of running around. Maybe I can help you find them."
Ah, a
Just
cloak,
swaying my
finally
body around.
someone of decency, and then... this... And begins to kind of hold his nose, and literally holds his nose at you guys, like the whole pinch with the palm facing out. Oh
No,
my
but
god.
I would love to follow you around and really help you dig deep and find whoever it is you're looking for, because everyone's everywhere, and we really need to find people.
I'm looking for my son.
What does your son look like?
He's incredibly tall, has my incredible looks, and he was last seen with that red-haired wench from Flan.
Redhead wench from Flan. Who's the redhead wench from Flan?
I have no idea, but I want him to be gone from her. Are you all capable to the task? I would pay you or whatever it is peasants do nowadays.
I mean, I'll take some money, but we just have to make sure that they're not hanging out.
No, I want my son returned back to our personal estates. Not the Tower of the Blades, but my personal estates. He's 16 and an idiot.
Okay. Sure. I mean, we just gotta find them and bring them back. I mean, we've done something pretty similar before. So it can't be that much worse. I mean, last time we went to someone, it was someone trying to be sacrificed. So I feel like just separating a guy from a gal shouldn't be too much worse, if you know what I'm saying.
Lovely. Now, no harm must come to my son. As he takes another big whiff of stank air from you, Freddy. No harm must come to my son. I'd be willing to... pay the peasants, I must leave. And he just like turns this awful shade of green and begins to hurry away from kind of the stench of you, Freddy, as the one of kind of the burly dwarfs that's at his side walks up, and he's got like a nice thing of gold. Hey, here, just do whatever it takes. Bring Sebastian back to Zor Stowe's estates. Get paid another chunk of this. And he hands you. It's a hefty sack of gold, Freddy.
All right. Okay, we'll do our best, and you know our best is the best in the business.
Sure. as the kind of doors fall off, and you can see Stowe is making this real flowy kind of walk side to side with his nose in the air and making just these as he kind of goes through and begins to head off, trying to be gone from this area as quick as possible. I think
And
we
so
just
I'll
lost.
turn to the party. Yeah.
All right, we'll take a. How about
Brief
let's take a
break.
real quick 5-minute break. We'll wait for Ryan. Oh, hold on.
Oh, oh.
Uh,
He's back?
We back?
are we back? And we back? Are we back?
No.
Oh,
Hmm.
nerd.
Are you with
Nope.
us, Ryan?
You're
Speak
muted.
to the spirit
Ryan
box.
Patrick. Ryan Patrick. How old are you?
Oh,
Oh,
The anticipation.
oh,
No.
he's typing.
Dan hears.
I'm here.
Oh,
there we go.
We're back on internet now.
all right.
Terrific.
See, I'll turn back to the party and I'll just say, hey, look, I got him to leave and offer us a job. Pretty snazzy.
The rest of you guys, I'll make Constitution saving throws.
Ugh.
Smell my stank.
Smells like a
One of you
turd
learn
rat.
prestidigitation.
That's a 10, Chief.
13.
For fuck's sake.
Smells like a diaper full of Indian food.
10.
It's getting worse, but you guys are noticeable, but you're all able to hold it down. You're not quite as soft as Zorblaze and Stowe.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? But yes, while
Well,
Freddy does indeed stink, he is holding a hefty bag of gold, which, upon inspection, is 100 gold pieces in there.
Hell yeah. Is Threndrazi still nearby?
Far enough away to not be within earshot, but close enough that you could run her down if you needed to.
Yeah, I'm gonna run her down real quick and ask if she can do some kind of smell reduction magic on me.
She gives you a very odd look. Hold on.
Who's got presto?
Yeah, she
Your bard is your
she-
only spellcaster, and they do not.
she gives you kind of a neutral look, and then Wave does a quick hand motion, and there you are, Freddy. Conduct yourself better next time, all right?
Hey, I warned you. Don't say I didn't warn you.
It's your fault.
I will
didn't say
mark it
was
down
your
that
fault.
liar is not one of your qualities, Freddy.
Yeah, fear is not something I have conquered.
Fearful, but not a liar. Complicated combination. Which leaves her in a, at least seemingly, ghost smile move. But yes, you have been prestidigitationed.
Okay. There, now I don't smell as bad.
And he's correct. He does not smell nearly as bad.
Well, Freddie, I've got some good news. I've got a lead on this Sebastian fella of where we might be able to find him. The other day, actually, he came up and apologized for his father's behavior, and I know of a place that we might be able to find this person that he is romantically entangled with. So we can do that here, but I just. Freddie, did you see that thing zap me in the back? Or were you busy, birthing an anaconda up here?
I didn't see much of what was going on. Kind of from instant one, I didn't really focus on much else.
Well, Jasper, Freddie, I already shared this with our friend Rornak, but that thing zapped me straight in the back, and I'll keep this short so we can keep it moving. But essentially, he was actually still holding the dragon egg kind of, again, like a football tucked up into his side, and he will uncover it. And again, it's that cantaloupe size. Looks like a piece of rock that's got a crack in it, and it has a bunch of different writing on it. And is it still softly glowing, Dom, or has that glow subsided?
That glow has subsided. Now it just looks like a big cracked rock.
Big cracked rock. He's going to look at Freddy, and he said, Freddy, you already know I don't know jack shit when it comes to magical whatnots, but you see, my gaffer, Caldwell, he was something of an adventurer himself, and he was gifted this right here from, well, a real-life dragon. At least that's the story he always told. My father never believed him, but I was passed on this, my gaffer's favorite piece of memorabilia, and he told me that one day, as he was told from this dragon, that this egg would hatch. And I've been all over the Moonsea. I've had countless people do that, the little pingy thing, right, where you're trying to figure out if there's magic on or around something, and came up dead then. And I've even tried to get this writing on the outside transcribed into something a little more easier on the ears and tongue, and turns out that everybody thinks that it's fake draconic and think that the whole thing is fake. But I'll tell you
Can I compare the writing to the writing that I have written down from the Golden Band?
You can indeed. Make me an intelligence check. Just intelligence.
Flat intelligence. God damn it. It's the second time tonight. 2.
2. Looking at it, they don't match. So you see there is one marking on there that you see from the text that you wrote down from the band that is on the egg, but none of the other characters match.
Okay.
And Freddie, that thing zapped me. That dragon-looking thing, whatever it was whispering up there, sounded. I've never heard Draconic really spoken, but if that's what my headcanon is for Draconic, and then it zapped me straight in the back, and as soon as I came back up after thinking that I had fucking died, lo and behold, that egg is cracked, and there's all sorts of colors pouring out of it, and that's Jasper that's why I got up and left in such a hurry. It wasn't for fear of having to fight whatever we were going to have to fight there. It was, I don't know if you hold something so precious and so dear to yourself, Jasper, that you would do anything to protect it, but these are one of those things for me.
Understood. I gotta be honest, it just looks like a fucking rock to me, but
and
if
like,
you
as soon as
feel
you
that
say
strongly...
He's going to look you right in the eyes. It is not a rock.
Okay, well, I can tell that you definitely feel that is the case, so I'll help you out with that however I can.
Well, I appreciate it, and frankly, it feels good just to get this off my chest. I know that there's, some bad blood with the whole dragon and Flan thing, and believe me, I was there when that descended, so there is, there's bad dragons out there. There's good dragons too. So, Freddie, maybe when our schedule is a little bit lighter, maybe I don't know, you're all connected with the cloaks and all of that, and I don't know, maybe you can help me figure out what to make of this. But that's in the future. We have a job in front of us, and like I said, I do have a lead. When Sebastian talked to me last, he told me that Ilva, his love, the fiery redhead, worked at the Leaning Boot, and that was the last that I had heard of it. So I figure if we're looking for this boy, we might as well be looking for the girl first. And maybe they are either together or at least can point us in the right direction.
Or we could just scare her into not hanging out with him anymore.
Well,
We could do that. We do still have to find the boy and get him
I
back
guess,
to
yeah,
the
the
estate.
mission was to get the boy there.
yeah, if those two lovebirds want to be lovebirds, I don't think that's any of our problems. We were not paid to break them up. We were paid to return Sebastian. And
Wait,
Frank-
yeah, if we're just getting paid to return him, we could really be buggers and return him with the girl and just see what happens.
Or just return him and he can just leave again at some point, and we still get the money,
Yes,
Are you
but
suggesting we make a business of getting him back again?
Oh, that would be choice. that Zor seems dumb enough to keep paying us for that.
I don't know. He just left again.
I guess we bring that up to him when we see him.
Yeah.
Not the dad, the son, obviously.
Right. That makes sense.
Why didn't anyone tell me Mulmaster is actually this easy? You all made it sound so hard.
It's kind of you just gotta lean into it, and then it's manageable.
It would be hard in any other city, but in Mulmaster things make themselves easier.
Well, we have to get paid the first time to get paid a second time, so guess we should get started soon.
You know, that's a fucking good saying. Let's get going.
Yeah.
I've been learning, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, and so we can head towards the Lean and Boot, and I do appreciate y'all. You are now on. Well, I let Rornak know, but Jasper, Freddie, y'all my friends, and I appreciate you helping a little Southern boy, a little out of towner, feel a little more comfortable in the big cold white city. So I know you all aren't known for your warm, cheery dispositions, but well, let's just say coming from this old folk, I appreciate you both, and well, just keep them lips shut when it comes to this cantaloupe. This is a dragon egg, by the way. So there's me, Gavin. Let's go to the Lean and Boot.
We go
And
to the
break.
Lean Boot.
All right. So if you look on our map from Mr. Sasaj Estates, you're heading directly west. You're going across the bridges, kind of through the Bay of Mulmaster. As you guys go across the first bridge, it leads past a place that Freddie you've heard of, and Jasper you would know of, which is the Shrine to Umberlee. It's this rather long and kind of tall, sloped bridge that looks like a woman's mouth opening up into like the harbor, like a big scream. And as you pass by, you can see that there's a number of people who flick a coin off into the water below, into kind of the mouth of this, ranging from dock workers, someone dressed in kind of a like middle class Mulmasterites, even a kind of a like a vagabond looking like gentleman who's leaned up against the wall. He's got the hood pulled up and all wrapped up kind of close, avoiding the cold. As you pass by kind of this what's called the last drop in Mulmaster, and it's a unofficial shrine to Umberlee. As you pass over that bridge and kind of walk across it, some of you for the first time, you make your way across there through a second set of bridges to the other side of the bay where the Leaning Boot is located. As you guys approach, the Leaning Boot is marked only by a salt-stained old boot nailed to a post at the top of a set of narrow steps leading down to a nondescript door. Before you guys open up into the Leaning Boot, there is a laughing half-orc wearing sailor's homespun that staggers from the place, reeking of alcohol. Blood trickles from various cuts on his face, and as he passes by, you can see a knife is protruding from his shoulder, and he looks to you all and says, "Slow night," before kind of stumbling drunkenly down the road as you approach the Leaning Boot.
He was trying to act tough, huh?
Pretty tough for me. Freddie, I'm going to let you do the talking in here. You're pretty good at that whole thing. Remember, we're looking for Ilva. She's got fiery red hair. Should be behind the bar.
Ilva. All right, I guess we're going in.
You guys descend into the Leaning Boot. This smell of strong ale, wine, pipe smoke, salty water, and waterlogged wood immediately kind of hits your noses. You can hear muted laughter, clinking glass, wood chairs scraping across the floors, the sounds of somebody getting hit across the jaw as you enter into kind of this rowdy kind of underground bar. Looking behind the bar, Freddie, you don't see a bright-haired young woman. Instead, you see barely at 5 feet 5 feet tall, an older woman smoking a rather large pipe. She's currently cursing at one of the other patrons there. She's gotta at least be in her 70s, if not even older, for a human woman. He with big deep wrinkles that are set in, one eye kind of slightly closed while the other one open up a little too wide. Just this stout, just salty looking woman behind the bar instead.
I'll turn to Joe and be like, I'm guessing that's not the one.
Yeah, that can't be her, but hey, maybe she knows her.
All right. So I'll go up there. I'm guessing it's pretty rowdy in here.
It's rowdy, but it's not nearly as packed as the Ox Pit Tavern was.
Gotcha.
The Ox Pit Tavern was definitely less rowdy, but way more people.
Okay. So hey, I've been told that there's a Ilva that works here.
What? Who are you?
Yep.
She looks and there's a big just a pipe smoke that comes out.
Oh, thank you for that. I was actually asking about a little redhead beauty, if you know what I'm talking about. My name's Fred, or Freddy as people call me. And you might have heard me. I played at the Lady Vaj's place. I played at the Ox place. I play this instrument here.
Oh, so does that mean you got coin to spend? And she holds
Maybe
out a hand.
Maybe I do, or maybe I can play and get some drinks flowing. I've been told that my instrument gets the taps working.
Well, maybe I know who you're talking about. Maybe I don't know who we're talking about. My lips seem not real loose right now, but I am known to have a golden smile.
How about I get the taps flowing for you, and then we'll see if you have some memory.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah. Oh, my first roll above 10. What is up?
Hey.
20.
20? All right there, cute butt. Go ahead and get playing. And if I like what I hear, yeah, maybe I got something. However, you guys, and she looks to the rest of you, order something or get the fuck out.
And I'll just turn to them and be like, hey, if you order drinks, it kind of works towards my getting the taps flowing.
Yeah, I'll fucking have an ale.
Yeah, give me your tallest and biggest and strongest.
Make that a second nail. Thank you.
And I'll stand on a table and I'll start plucking like the tune to Crazy Train.
Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
Seems like the kind of music this crowd would be into.
Honestly.
Fuck me! I've rolled 2 3s tonight and 2 1s.
Wow.
That is an 8.
Boy.
Blink, dink, blink, dink, blink, dink, blink, and it's like it seems purposely bad. And instead of getting the crowd roaring, you look over and there is you see a young half-elven woman with short dark hair and long fingernails that are stained a dark kind of crimson red. She has several scars on her face and neck. And looking at her hair, you can see that there are red highlights, as if her hair used to be dyed red, but has now been re-dyed black. And she's surrounded by some really rough, about 6 rough-looking guys. They've got, they're all armed. Everything is, salt-stained. but they're not dock workers. You get the feeling that they definitely spend time on the seas, but they're definitely not working a dock. As they all begin to kind of grumble and glare, and one yells, "Shut up!" As the half-elven woman is trying to placate them, but she doesn't seem to be enjoying the song very much either. The rest of you,
So she doesn't seem entertained by them. She doesn't want them there.
she seems less entertained by you.
Okay.
You play, and afterwards, there's you stop and you wait for the applause, and it's all just kind of grumbling. You look back towards your party. Each you have who go ahead and everybody mark off -2 silver. As you all have an ale and look back at this surprisingly bad performance for Freddy.
That's what you get paid the big bucks for, huh?
Yep.
Well,
when when all else fails, and Joe is just gonna start like clinking around his gold purse.
Wait. Wait.
what?
There's a lady over there. Now, this
Alright.
isn't much of a lady establishment. So I'm thinking that might be her, and the fact that she's surrounded by guys, those might be regulars. And they might just know her from the bar. So maybe we check her out first before we just spend gold for old lady back here to go, it's her. And then we go, well, fuck.
Didn't the lady we were looking for have red hair?
Look closer at her hair.
Jasper looks as closely as she fucking can.
Freddy, you don't need to roll. Freddy is right. She does seem to have red highlights in her hair, as if it used to be dyed red.
Shit, you're right. Alright.
So we should at least check in on that before we spend.
Well, all right then, smooth operator. You can take the lead then.
Wait, I have a theory to get the guys away from her. I'm gonna jump back up on a table.
Oh my fucking god.
Freddy jump right back on the table.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna play another song unless somebody is man enough to throw me out of here. Specifically yelling in her direction.
Go ahead. That one's a performance check. Go ahead and
Okay.
as you make this declaration.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my
7.
god. Can I?
No.
Yeah, you yell that out and you look around. You put on your biggest, toughest face, and those kind of guys look at you and have kind of a snort and get back down and begin to continue to talk to that half-elven woman.
I
Seemingly
guess
ignored.
Jasper's gonna try to get closer to hear what they're saying to her.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. Oh my god. 7.
Yeah. You pick up a word here or there. The best you make out is her name appears to be Mixie, is what they refer to her as.
Mixie. Okay.
And Jove is just gonna. He hadn't broke eye contact with Freddy that whole time. As he gets up on this chair and gets back down, and he's gonna kind of raise an eyebrow.
I never said I got back down. I said I was gonna play a song unless somebody threw me out.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
I am gonna play a song because I threatened to do it, and nobody did shit.
Man of your word.
That's a 19 performance.
To be as bad as possible.
Yeah, let me ask you: are you trying to play as bad as possible?
I mean, at this point, yeah.
Yeah, you play.
I
You play
threatened to play a
horrendously.
song, so I don't want to play something good.
Yeah, you play horrendously. Like you know that to play this badly takes skill.
Right. It's like when you hear someone singing badly, you're like, wow, that person must actually know how to sing. Otherwise, they couldn't be that bad.
However,
Yeah.
the effect that you are looking for goes off as soon as you probably get into the second verse, the table. All right, enough of this shit. And you see all 6 of these kind of real rough-looking dudes stand up and begin heading towards you, kind of circling around.
Jasper like closes in on a Mixie question mark and says, "Are you Ilva?"
And then as she's going in, I'm gonna like lead them away. I'm gonna cast light on my loot, and she's like, "Come and get me!" And then I'm gonna like run out the front door.
Yeah, they follow chase. So we'll do something with that in a second. So as these 6, very rough looking dudes begin following Freddy, as Freddy is like playing like Stairway to Heaven, like 3 keys out of tune perfectly. So it's that of like everybody knows the song Freddy is playing, but she's playing it so purposely bad and making all the mistakes that like anybody who knows that drinking song wants to fight about it. You're wrong. No, you don't play that C sharp there. You're wrong. That's not how that goes. You've got one guy who is specifically like pointing out all the things. You're like, wow, he's right. These are all the things I'm doing. As Freddy's leading these guys away, Jasper, you do have Jasper goes up to Mix. You're like, no.
You know who that is? Looking for her. You looked like you had red hair at one point or other.
What does my hair have to do with being somebody I'm not?
I was told she had red hair. Sorry for the confusion.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Okay. 13.
13. Yeah, she for the second time tonight, somebody's trying to cover for somebody else. And as you say, I'm looking for the red. She's like, nope, don't know anybody like that. Enjoy your stay. Hey, Ma. Hey, Ma. And you see Ma pop up. Yeah, what you need, Mixie? I'm gonna go take a break, okay? I'll be back in a little bit. Yeah, all right, you got it, honey. As Mixie begins to make her way out through the establishment towards the back.
Is Jovan Warnacker still here, right?
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
She gestures towards her like there's something up with her big time. Towards Nixie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Sorry, just to be clear, Dom, did she like exit the building as in she's going off the street, or did she like go into a back room type of deal?
She is headed. There is a back room here, but to leave, you have to go up those steps. So she's heading towards the front, going up the same way that Freddy just left with those guys.
Gotcha.
So she would have to pass by you and Rory first.
Gotcha. And okay, I think Jove is going to look at Ma and say, "I'm going to give you just a few seconds to answer this question. Do you know Ilva? And I will pay."
She holds out a hand.
And says, "How's big is that golden smile of yours?"
2 teeth worth.
You cut out a little bit.
She says 2 teeth worth.
And yeah, Jove will fish that out really quick and give the 2 coins.
She gets it, bites on it, and you see that she does have 2 golden teeth that she puts up against it. All right, listen here, halfling. Ilva's a working girl that comes in some nights a week. One of them refugees from Flan. Came in, super unassuming, real sweetheart. A couple 10 days ago, well, something something went up with her. You know, she came back in, cut all of her hair off, suddenly had her hair all dyed crazy red. You know, it was, I don't know, she looked like she had the Stormlord herself pent up in her and started just like trying to get out. It's all crazy and everything. But, you know, still a good worker. So a little bit after that, her and, you know, Mixie were having a shift, and a bunch of cute little noble boys came in, you know, looking for excitement. You know how fucking dumb noble kids are. And, well, they almost got strung up with some cash. You know, Ilva stepped in, and ever since then, this tall, lanky kid's been following her pretty much everywhere. You come into work, he's gonna be here. He leaves work, he goes with her. You know.
Well, there's two more teeth for you if you can tell me where the tall lanky boy is.
Where the tall, lanky kid is, I don't know.
When's the last time you seen him?
Holds out a hand.
And we'll put 1 gold in.
She takes the 1 gold. I saw him 2 days ago. Came in here with Elva. They're going to, I don't know. They had a conversation with Mixie. Mixie looked real upset. You know, she lives, you know, down the ways a little bit. And then the two of them went off. Haven't seen him since. She didn't even come in for a shift today.
And yeah, Jove will nod his head and says, "You've been quite helpful, Ma. I appreciate you." And he's going to kind of hop off his stool and look over at Jasper, if Jasper hasn't already like approached to be like, "Yo, we probably should go."
Yeah, Jasper, I think, was already heading towards the exit.
Yeah. So with Jasper heading up, and then followed shortly by Jove, and I assume Rory, you bringing up the caboose?
That is correct.
You guys come upon the scene. Freddy, you are still playing really poorly and leading these guys out. You know, it's getting harder and harder as they're picking up the pace. As you are kind of backing up, bursting through them, you see that same woman with the short hair, previously dyed red, and she kind of ducks past them and leans over and says, "Hey, buy me some time," and begins to actually run past you as they get kind of closer and closer. The rest of you guys pop up, and you see kind of this group of 6 dudes who are getting closer and closer around Freddy. Freddy, as you're playing, you know, a symphony of destruction of just bad music.
It was Mixie that said to buy her time?
Uh-huh.
Well, how bad did my team fuck up that I'm now buying time for the person that I was buying time for my team to talk to?
Yeah.
You say that, and as half of the dudes kind of turn around to look back and see this party approaching, the other half looking at you, Freddy. Some of them begin to pull clubs out, and let's roll for initiative, guys.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, look, another 3. Fuck yeah.
Jeez, dude.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Where's my books? Aha. Yes. Yes.
Man, Mikey, you are in top form today.
Top Mikey form. It's what I expect.
I've rolled 3
Really
3s, 2 1s, 1 10, 1 15, and 1 16.
You're getting them out before the combat, and I
There
thank
we
you
go.
for that.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
I got out the 1s and 3s. Oh, I also rolled a 2.
Yeah, you're getting all the hyper low ones out of the way. This is
I
good
rolled
news.
6 rolls, 3 or less tonight.
Yeah, that's
And
Real
3 above 3.
That's bad for Mikey.
yeah, that's bad. That is
That's
just
bad for Will Wheaton.
God, Will
no.
Wheaton is laughing
No.
somewhere super hard as he rolls his first crit 20, like
Right.
that 20, and just like, somebody has taken my curse.
Yeah. No, he like 60% of his rolls are ones. Like
It's incredible, really. Speaking
Truly.
of incredible, so I would say, as you guys kind of exit out here, that Freddy, you're probably no more than 30 feet away from the entrance. Probably about 15 feet away from you is kind of this block of,
Boys.
boys, and then 15 feet from there, as you guys are kind of exiting it out with, um, Rory, Jasper, and Jove all coming out at the same time. With Mixie, who is currently dashing away from away from you all before making a very noticeable left down an alleyway. We jump into combat as weapons are drawn. Starting with Rory.
Nice. I will go ahead and head up to the ones with the weapons drawn and make myself a couple attacks.
Yeah,
One
go
with
for
and
it.
without bonus. Let's see. The first hit is for a 13.
13 will do.
Okay, and the bonus attack will definitely hit with the 22.
Yes.
Roll damage. Gotcha. Okay, so that'll be for 11. This is gonna be full on fist, just by the way, as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
On that one. Yeah. So that is going to be for 8 total blunt damage.
8 blunt damage. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you open up on this dude as he begins pulling out like a belaying pin or like a billy club, and he's got it out and he pulls back as you close the distance and wha wha straight to the jaw. In fact, it really looks like one movement with 2 hits, just pop pop, and he looks dazed immediately. Almost drops his weapon. He's still on his feet, but you rung his bell really hard.
Nice. That's it for me.
All right. He, in return, is going to try to bring this billy club down on you. That is a 14.
Does not hit.
Yeah, kind of swings, and you see it coming. So you actually step in, and he swings it behind you. He's got himself open, almost like he's going for a big hug around you. That is his turn. Then we go to Jasper.
Okay, so I've got 40 feet of movement, and I'm trying to get as close to Freddy as I can. And I have an attack that will make the person not have an attack of opportunity. So I have that at my disposal.
Yeah, because you've got the mobile feat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could make it to Freddy and make an attack on the way.
Okay, let's do that. She's gonna pull out her shield and make a longsword attack on him. Ooh, that's a nat 20, baby.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
See, someone has to average me out.
Right.
It's not going to be me, so.
I'll take it.
That's max damage for a
Ooh.
total of 15 slashing.
Yeah, you just like you've done previously, you get into kind of that kill mode where you put the long sword on top of the shield and you just move straight through, and it enters in straight through an eye, rips it open on the side, and by the time you're done moving your whole movement, you're right in front of Freddy, and then just whoosh, and then one dude hits the ground. And then suddenly the mood changes as these dudes begin dropping belaying pins and then start pulling out scimitars.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
As this has gone from a street brawl to a killing. But yes, you've moved it all the way to you're standing in front of Freddy now, sword and shield. Freddy still with loot in hand. You make this just perfectly out of tune, just towards the end of your song, right as Jasper cuts through this guy. And the sound of his body hitting the ground almost makes it sound like a nice bass drum to accompany. Thump, thump.
And she'll just say, Don't draw fucking weapons on a worshiper of Talos.
Fair.
Jove.
So, from our perspective coming out of the leaning boot, is it like the front and then directly in front of us is Freddy and all of them, and then on the other side of Freddy is where Moxie ran away towards?
Mm-hmm, that would be correct.
Okay, so then he is. Yeah, if the shortest path to where her trail starts up is directly towards Freddy, he's going to use his 25 feet of movement, which I'm not sure if that gets me in melee range of anybody.
It does.
It does? Okay. Well, then I will, with my shield out and spear in one hand. Just, you know what? After seeing Jasper do that cool kind of rush with her long sword over the top of her shield, he's gonna try a similar move, and he's gonna get his spear on top of his shield and just kind of make a running dash at whoever is closest and make a spear attack. All right. Oh, would you believe I got a nat 22?
Don't not to get
22?
Yeah.
Whoa.
A natural 22? You rolled a 20.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
I know.
Damn.
D22.
Better than a. Wait, you guys aren't playing with D22s? Oh shit.
Thought this was 5e.
All right. So then that is. Oh, for another max damage. I'm not.
Oh my god.
You. So I got my max damage though is only 14.
Yeah, you copy Jasper and come to the same conclusion.
Wow.
So now,
You
literally,
called
you
it.
just but except through like the skull, right through kind of the center, and you feel it pierce through spine and rip out through the side, and just another chord from you, Freddy. In fact, now it's ding, dun 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 from both of those bodies hit the ground, and you are now it's a line of Freddy, Jasper, Jove.
And then Jove's going to use his free action as he kind of turns around to close ranks and says, "Boys, it doesn't got to end like this. You can run now." And I'll be into his turn.
That's a good point. Let's see how they react to that.
If I could help with that intimidation just by, looking intimidating, I will.
The fact that we just skewered two of their dudes.
Jove and Jasper both roll me intimidation check.
Okay.
Even though I'm bad at it, I got an 18.
And I'm good at it, and I got an 11.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, misread that. That's a 6.
A 6. Yeah, Jasper, you set up, and you say that, and they look like they're they're not entirely convinced until Joe runs the same exact maneuver a second time, and suddenly they see two. So all but the one that is engaged with you, Rory, begin to hightail it out of there, leaving just the one left as 1, 2, 3, 2 are dead, and one is currently engaged with Rory. They begin booking it. They drop the belaying pins, don't go for the scimitars, start dashing away in the opposite direction of you guys, away from where Mixie was running. So it brings us to Freddy.
Now I'm going to play something very beautifully, because since it's magical, I don't have to roll for it. And I'm just going to do a vicious mockery. You run away too. Don't make this worse than it already is. You little bitch. You don't want your fate to be the same as his.
Rolled a 7.
And that's not even me. That's a wisdom save.
Yeah, I rolled
even though
a
I
7.
did roll a 16, of course.
Well,
That's a
it
weird
went
thing to roll on.
Wasted it.
Wasted.
So yes, he fails that wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I do roll that though. Okay, so that is 2 psychic.
Yeah, his ears begin to bleed, and he begins scrambling, looking for a way out. But before it can get to his turn, as Freddy does this, it's Rory's turn.
Gotcha. Okay. I will go ahead and attack, but I will explicitly aim just to knock him out with this one. Just
Sure,
like
gotcha.
an open palm strike, basically, just to knock him down.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hook it around. You're not gonna hit the temple. You're gonna hit the jaw. If you get this right, it should be button lights out. He's already looking like he's mostly the way asleep.
Gotcha. Okay. Don't know if that actually hits. That's an 11.
An 11. An 11. Yeah, an 11 hits.
Gotcha. Yep. Just open palm, just coming up, hit him on the jaw, just to not to kill, but just to take the lights out.
Pop! He makes the full 3. So the noise of everything is blang, bum 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 bum, and then a nice chord that Freddy plays, and then finally one last bum bum. We're out of initiative, as everybody's either unconscious, dead, or running.
Ah, shit. Sorry, guys. I kind of saw red there for a sec.
Well, it was in her hair. She went that way and turned down an alley.
Yeah.
Jove is
Should
going to
we
go
follow?
down. Yeah, Jove is going to try and go down. You know where Freddy had like pointed out that she hooked a left or whatever down there, and see if he can pick up any sort of, I don't know if there's maybe mud on her shoes, any sort of trail that she might have left. Long pieces of red-black hair.
Roll me
in
a
the
survival
cotton.
check there, Joe.
She couldn't have gotten too far in 6 seconds.
Yeah, survival.
Yeah.
Ooh, not good at survival. 4. That's a 4.
4. Yeah, this is actually be probably, an investigation check. That's my mistake.
In that case, it's an 8.
An 8? While there isn't a lot of tracks in here on the cobblestone, if you guys are moving directly from combat into this, you can see her just duck into a door down this kind of alleyway.
I know Jove is gonna make chase and kind of try and wave people on, just to at least keep the trail hot.
Yeah, am I assuming party that we are giving chase?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
The party, gives chase as soon as this combat ends. You have the quick aside between Jasper and the party, and then foomp, you guys are following down. You go down this alleyway, and you go and you see a kind of a small alley building with a front door on it, and you can hear right behind the door just kind of the heightened breath of somebody leaned up against it. Party, what would you like to do?
Jasper's gonna wipe the blood off her sword.
Yeah. And give the door a good old knock, knock, knock.
What do you want?
Oh, we just had some questions. It's got to do with our friend Sebastian. We're just trying to help.
Roll a persuasion check.
All right. Let's say I got a 12.
A 12? Okay, if I open the door, you're not going to kill me, are you? I'll tell you what you want. Just don't hurt me.
We promise. Well, we'll give you our word.
The door kind of opens a crack, not all the way. You could see a small, not a hefty, but a chain that is kind of really jammed into there, and it opens up, and you can see the sliver of this Mixie woman. She says, "Okay, so what do you want to know?" And you can see, on her side, she's clearly terrified, trembling. There's a small dagger kind of at the side. But the door is open. Communication channels are open.
Well, I believe we just want information. We're looking for, what was the name?
Ilva.
Elvis?
We're looking for Ilva. There's been reports that her and a friend of hers, Sebastian, have gone missing. Well, we just know that there's worried people with worried families out there, and so we're just trying to get to the bottom of it all.
Well, I think she's probably with that. Well, whatever he is, I don't know if he's a man or he's something else, but
Who
something.
is this person?
He's I don't know if he's a leader or like a spokesperson. He's this dwarf. He's got this crazy red hair and red beard. He talks to people. Talks about letting your inner fire burn. Me and Ilva used to go down, a few months back, and he'd tell us how we could harness the fire in ourselves and get what we wanted, and that those who deserved would always burn brightest. And it was really inspiring for a while. I even dyed my hair red, same as Ilva. Then she started bringing that kid with her, the noble kid, and well, one time we went there and it was just us and some of the people who really really liked this guy, and it was different. It wasn't just talking, it was chanting and dancing, and the room started to get really really hot. And then I had this vision of like the whole place being engulfed in flames, and the little dwarf, he turned into this like awful creature, and he was burning and everybody was dying, and I had to get the hell out of there. Well, that's why I tried to put it past me, but Ilva was so mad about it, and she threatened that if anybody, if I talked to anybody about it, they would come after me. I thought that was you, that you might have been with the fucking dwarf. And listen, I just want to be away from this. I don't want to be a part of this. All right, I left the kind of life that brings this shit behind after Walharrow went to prison, and I don't want to go back.
We understand. And with any luck, the same mercy can be shown for your friend Ilva. But we do need to get there if we're going to help her. Do you know where that dwarf is located?
He speaks in the Zent ghettos. He's in this big kind of shack. You'll see there's always the same two kind of dwarf guys there. Like, all of them have this big red beard.
I trust you to know about the Zen ghettos, correct? As he looks over to Jasper and Freddy.
Sure, I know about it.
Yeah.
I don't spend much of any time over there, but I sure know it exists.
I've heard that name before.
I, as Ryan, have an idea what that is, and I'm looking forward to it.
No, but have I ever been there?
I mean, yes, not to like spend a day or everything, but everybody, all Mole Masterites know where the Zent ghetto is.
Okay.
When you enter into there. I mean, nobles wouldn't be caught dead there, but the regular people in Mole Master, well, that's where all those Flayan refugees are, and those are easy marks.
Well, look, I'm sorry we near scared you half to death. But no, if we're doing what we plan on doing, you won't have to be worrying about folks coming after you no more. So at the end of the day, we're hoping to help you, your friend, and the Sebastian fell out all at once, and maybe even seems like there's a lot of weird things happening in this town. I'm not sure if that's just another 10-day here or what, but look, I feel bad that we gave you such a hassle and such a scare. So I know it's not much, but we appreciate you. Well, being so nice and forthcoming with us. And he's gonna just take out a gold piece and give it to her, just as a token. He sits and thinks about it and is like, "Is this condescending?" And he just gives it to her anyways.
She takes the gold, and as she begins to shut the door, she says, "It has a red door. The shack that the dwarf speaks at. It's got a red door."
Appreciate that, miss. Y'all have a good
she-
night.
Takes the gold and shuts the door, and you can hear the steps of her walking away from it, leading you to the cold alley of a night in Mulemaster.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. I don't want to get caught up for those murders.
For real, we should go. As a fun little flavor too, I don't think anyone speaks Gith, but just so you know, Dom, I think Rory would do a real quick prayer to Ilmater in Gith after that conversation, and then move on.
Yeah, you take that moment. You squeeze your hands together so hard that you feel that kind of pain. Like all good prayer should begin, and speak your thanks, and continue to follow your companions to the Zent Ghetto. The Zent Ghetto, if we're looking at our map, whether you're looking at the orange map or the black and white map, is that kind of sectioned off area. Looks like, I believe, was that a hexagon on the orange map, or brown, I suppose. It's the very southern parts. You should see like it's a part of the city that was walled in much later after the point, like a cell growing on the outside of the organism that is in Mulemaster. So it's a bit of a walk by this time, after the Fear Naval and getting to the Leaning Boot, it's definitely, moon in the sky, nighttime, but it's Mulemaster is always kind of dimly lit with different torch lights, and the city never truly goes to bed. So there's even activity out towards in this later part of the day. You get to the gates, and you've walked on this path by a lot of kind of the midtown, I would describe, of Mulemaster. You pass by, taverns and different businesses, kind of different, almost bizarre like areas. And as soon as you hit kind of the Zed Ghetto, there's this huge open space between where the city is built, and then open space, and then the gates that lead into the Zed Ghettos. It's so flat and just open with just no places to hide or have people in. It seems so naked compared to the rest of the city before you see these big, huge gates that lead into the area of the Zent Ghetto. You walk past, and there's, of course, a number of Cities Watch that are posted by the gates. You can see them on top of the walls. It's that same 20-foot high wall that surrounds all of Mulemaster. As you walk by these big wooden gates that seem like they've probably have been closed in over a decade, if not longer, and you enter into the Zent Ghetto. The Zent Ghetto is like a shanty town that grew roots. Everything is misshapen and built at odd angles. You can see the wall that lines the back of the Zent Ghetto is probably only 15 feet tall. It's shorter, not nearly as sturdy as the actual wall that surrounds Mulemaster, as if everything was just kind of thrown up and reinforced after somebody just gave up trying to push out the city. You can see there are tons of little shanties set up, and there is even kind of this late at night, there's just this kind of glowing haze that kind of sits through it. And it's just this maze, this whole field of just small space after small space after small space um, for quite a whiles back before hitting the wall. And it's just, even though Mulemaster is such a cold place, here it almost feels like it's sweating in here. The heat is higher, and even though it's in the nights in the middle of kind of the winter, the some of the coldest parts of the year, it is just far too warm as you enter into this place. Um, Everybody, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Team.
18,
I actually rolled high on that. That's a 14.
14.
16.
17.
Whoa.
Yeah, it takes you
Whoa.
guys, whether by a stroke of luck or happenstance, maybe even the inner machinations of the Zendghetto itself, before you spot this red painted door. It's a door into the front of this shack. It's probably about 7 feet tall. You can see on the inside and outside of the shack, there seems to be several torches. Even from here, you can smell the burning pitch, the smoke, the sweat. You hear chanting, fevered yelling, crackling fire. This flickering kind of firelight peeks out between the loose planks of this small shack. You're hearing dozens of voices speak in kind of a low murmurs while a deep, resonating voice booms above them all. You can see that same vibrant red painted door, and on each side of the door there are two dwarves with these flaming red beards that lean casually against its wall. It's a little whiles down the way. They haven't noticed you yet, but you all feel very confident that this is what you're looking for.
Alright, what's the plan? Wait till they're done and talk throughout here, or what?
I guess so. I didn't really think ahead. We just kind of came over here, and now we're here. So,
I
Well,
find it hard to imagine we can just stroll out this whole flaming hair get up.
that's a good point.
well, maybe, I don't know. Are we recent converts or anything like that? I don't know. It just seemed like the other gal, Mixie, seemed to indicate that there might be some sort of danger. And if this Sebastian fella has already been gone for 2 days, who knows? They could be in there roasting him right now.
Agreed. Taking more time might be risky, even if we don't exactly know what we're up against in there.
So we barge in.
Alright.
Well, I mean, I fancy myself as knowing a little bit of Dwarvish. Maybe we can get in some way. I'm not so much good on the wiles and the persuasion, but I don't know. You tell me, Magic Man. Are we going in spears out and doing this whole thing? Or are we going to try and slip in and make a ruckus once we're there?
I think that we try and get in and do everything without hurting anybody, because that should be our ultimate goal. But because that probably won't happen, because they seem kind of crazy, we should probably be ready to take our spears out.
Yeah.
I just was wondering, I mean, you're the one with magic here specifically. Can you do any fire with those hands? If we're gonna do the wanna-be converts route, that could help sell it a little bit for us.
I can do 0 fire. I can make something glow. like a little light ball.
Wow,
Can you make it
Yeah.
glow red?
that's some trick.
I don't know. Let me check my spell description.
Pulls out a little
light-
handbook. Just
The light can be colored as you like. Yes, I can make it glow red or orange, or I could probably even make it flicker like a little flame.
Could we put red light on all of us?
I do not believe so. I believe it is one object at a time. I can touch one object. Is it concentration? No. So I guess I can. Hold on. Oh, the spell ends if you cast it again. Yeah, so I can only do one thing at a time.
What if we just tell them that Ilva invited us? It sounds like she's on the inside and in deep, and maybe name dropping something will get us through the front door.
The
let's
problem
try
with that is that if they realize that we're not here to actually do friendly things, then she will get in trouble, and we don't want her getting hurt or killed if we can avoid it.
How about we say we're Sebastian's friends?
That could work, but we don't know how bought into it he is, do we?
No,
Well, we're gonna have to take a risk somewhere, I think.
From when I talked to Sebastian the other day, he was head over heels over this Ilva girl. Didn't make no mention of any fiery thing or whatnot. And I don't know. Look, I dealt with my fair share of kidnappings and things like that out on the road. People want to take others for ransom. I just get a feeling that Sebastian is a pawn in all of this. It's well known that he is the son of one of the Blades, Zor Stowe, and well, if we come in here, blaring the wrong horn, I feel like that might tighten them up a little bit more. If they want to get too rowdy, I mean, the city watch is all over us, right? And you're a cloak, right, Freddie? So that means we're practically official. So
That's true.
Well, I guess so. So the current plan, as I see fit, is we say that we're here to be new recruits, and then if they ask who told us about them or who informed them or us, we tell them that it was what's his name? Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sebastian. And then if they're like, "Oh no, you don't get to come in here," then we say, "Oh yes, we do," and then we do.
I don't know. I personally, I think it would be better to name drop Ilva than Sebastian. I think Sebastian's gonna to. I mean, they know if they have him in there, they know he's missing. And if we come say, "Hey, we're friends of Sebastian," then I think that might.
We could also tell them that we're all refugees of Flan. We've heard of, maybe not specifically Sebastian, but we've heard of others that are seeking refuge after everything that's happened.
Yeah,
I
you
can
know
try
what? That's
that.
a good angle.
Let me try that first. Okay.
Let's do it.
So that is our current plan. I approach the door and I knock on it. Wait, first I'm going to cast light on my lute and make it flicker a reddish orange glow.
You approach, and the two dwarves with the red beards leaned up against the wall. They notice you approach, and once you get within, 10 feet or so, they say, "Sawed off. This a private affair."
Yeah, I'm here because I heard about this whole Flan group, and I'm a refugee of Flan, and I was thinking that if you guys are out here and I'm out here being a refugee of Flan, that maybe I could get in with you guys and help your cause. I'm really convinced about you guys.
We said it once, we're not going to say it again. And they both kind of start to straighten up, glare at you. Go ahead and make me a deception check.
If I name drop a name from Flan, does that help deception?
In this case, no, it does not.
Okay. Yeah. Back to my regular rolls. 11.
They both look at you and say, "Listen, pal, you want to come to one of these things? Pick another night. What's going on here is private. Now, we mean it this time. Sod off."
Would you mind telling me what's going on, or is that like super private?
One looks at you, and for just a second, it looks like his whole beard lights a fire for just a moment. As he starts to take a kind of an aggressive stance forward. Saw it off, bud. Now.
I'm just saying, if it's magic, and I make my pendant clear. If it's magic, there's not much I can do other than tell my higher ups. So you can just tell me if it's magic or not, and I'll be out.
They see your cloak pin, look to each other, and yell, "Cloaks are here!" Roll for initiative.
Well.
Damn it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap. So 15, 21, 20. 13 for you, Freddy. That's a decent
Mhm.
roll.
The 15 was from earlier for Jasper. That's her new one.
Yes, okay. That one's better. All right, so Jove. So we got Jove with 21, Rory with 20, Jasper with 19, and Freddy. All right, at the top of initiative is Jove. I'd say you guys, party since you guys hung back, you're probably 30 feet away from where Freddy's at. And Freddy, you're about 10 feet from these dwarves.
Mhm.
So Jove, kick us off. Kyle, are you muted by chance?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Kyle's dead.
Oh, Kyle
died.
died.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
First,
Oh my
first
god.
death of the campaign.
First death of the
Not like
campaign. Then I guess Ryan's next.
Oh no. No, I got better. I got better.
You turned me into a newt.
Oh no, I meant next initiative,
That is true.
but also next to die.
I thought you were just being weirdly ominous.
I thought that was a joke about my
Ryan's
connection.
I mean, there's so many
No, we
layers
do
to
not,
this one.
Kyle. We do not hear you.
No, we do not hear you.
I can't tell if he can hear us, because if he can hear us, I feel like it'd be pretty obvious that we couldn't hear.
This is
Man,
why we
Discord's-
can't have nice things.
Discord's having a fit tonight, huh?
They really do not want us to play this game smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Ah!
I am back.
Hooray!
Yay.
Yay!
All right,
It's a
Jove.
Christmas miracle.
It is. You are first of initiative. You and Rory and Jess were about 30 feet away from Freddy, and Freddy is 10 feet away from these dwarves who are stationed right in front of the door to this shack.
Okay, so I'm 30 feet away.
Oh, how?
Okay, yeah. He is going to. He's got a shield out. He's going to take out a javelin, and he is going to do. He's going to run 25 feet closer to Freddy, and along the way, he is going to chuck that javelin at the dwarf that is closest to Freddy.
Yeah, you look over to these dwarves, and they each have this big old mace on them, and now that you've gotten closer, and Freddy, you see this as well, their beards are actually physically aflame as they both pull these maces.
All right.
That's magic.
Ooh, I crit fail, but I get to re-roll.
Wow, really taking advantage of that lucky.
I know,
Yeah,
honestly.
really.
Ooh, and that is a 23 to
A
hit.
23 will hit.
And then I'll go ahead and use my first use of favorite enemy to add the d4. And I will do 8 piercing.
8 piercing, gotcha.
No, I'm sorry. That's 6 piercing, not 8.
6 piercing. Yeah, you huck this javelin and it slices kind of the right bicep, deep but on the outside so it doesn't stick, and it dunks into the shack behind them.
And as he does that, he's just gonna say out, because he does speak in Dwarvish. He's gonna say, "Why don't y'all go sod off?" And that'll be Joe's turn.
Yeah, why don't y'all sod off?
Fucking
Yes.
got him.
Got it.
Who's the bard here?
Obviously not Joe. No,
Rory.
you.
No, you, nerd. Rory, it is your move.
Alrighty, I will go ahead and draw the bow staff off my back and move the 30 feet up. Would I be able to attack the one that was just attacked last? Or is there enough room for me, or would I have to attack the other?
They're both 10 feet away from where Freddy is, and Freddy's 30 feet away from you. So you can come up next to Freddy, but there's still another 10 feet. You would need a dash to get to them.
Ooh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. We'll go ahead then. We'll bonus action actually we'll use the action to dash to get right up in their grill.
Do you
And
want to be the one that Jove just hit, or the one that has not been hit?
I'll get in front of the one that Jove just hit.
Yeah, and with a almost Naruto style run, Rory, you've made your way up, and you are currently bow staff in hand in front of this flaming bearded dwarf.
Cool. That's all.
All right. After Rory is Jasper.
So with my 40 feet of movement, can I get in the same dude's grill
You can.
that everyone else is?
Yes, indeed you can.
Okay. I'm gonna attack him with my long. Oh, I'm gonna get out my shield first, and then attack him with my long sword. Bad. That's a. Sorry. 11.
An 11? 11 does not hit.
Yeah, I figured. Oh, that's my turn.
Okie dokie. It is then. It is the thug that's on the other side. He's gonna run over and engage. He's going after you, Freddy. You're the fuzz. So actually, one for Freddy, one for Jove. So he gets 2 attacks with the mace. The one against Freddy, that is going to be a 17.
Yep.
And the one against Jove, that's going to be a 16.
Clinks off the shield.
Clinks off the shield. All right. Freddy, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as it comes down and hits you square right in the cloak pendant, just right in the chest. That is his turn. Then it is the other dwarf, and he's gonna make one attack against each one of you. One for Rory, one for Jasper. Jasper. That's a 14.
Shield.
And then Rory, that is another 14.
Does not hit.
As you guys kind of have him boxed in against the back wall. Freddy, it is now your move.
Yamu.
Dun, 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 dun.
I really can't afford to take an opportunity attack here, so I won't. And I will vicious mockery him.
Okay, wisdom save. That's a critical fail.
Hell yeah. As he takes a whopping 2 psychic damage.
Two
Has-
psychic.
Disadvantage on his next attack. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to give who's standing next to me? Jove is standing next to me.
Jove is
To give-
indeed standing next to you.
Yeah, to give Jove my bardic inspiration.
Huzzah.
Help me not die by killing this dude, please.
Song for the ages.
Song for the ages.
I don't know what you expect of me. I just got hit really hard. It's not the most creative environment if you know what I'm saying.
It's not bringing out the
Tough
A game.
crowd.
Tough crowd here.
Tough crowd.
All right, back to the top. Speaking of Jove, it's Jove.
Jove is going to draw his spear, and then he is going to do his best to try and position himself between the dwarf man and our friend Freddy. And he's going to make a one-handed spear attack. I think I'll go ahead and use the D6. So with that, yeah, that puts me well over 20 for the. Well, that actually puts me exactly at 20 for the attack.
20 does hit.
And then hit you with the 2. That is going to be for 4 piercing.
4 piercing. Yeah. Get
And
right
I'm not
inside.
yeah. Yes. Perfect. And since I'm small, am I able to like really position myself in front of Freddy?
You and
Occupying the
Freddy,
same
since you're
space?
small, I think technically you can share the space with Freddy.
Then I'm doing that.
All right.
So if the dude tries to hit Freddy, he's got to hit me.
All right. Noted. Moving down from Jove is Rory.
I'm gonna attack the one that I ran right up to.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Okay, so we'll roll for 2 here. First one will hit with the 21,
Yeah, that will hit.
and then 17 hits or no?
17 also hits.
Okay, so got the one with the staff and one unarmed. That's gonna be 4. Let's see. That's 11 bludgeoning damage total.
Yeah, Rory, you use the momentum of your run, and like a baseball bat, you do almost like a full spin and get him with the bow staff. Just crack him right against the skull, and then as you're spinning, you pull out the elbow and drive an elbow into it, so it makes two strikes. Both land
Beautiful.
cleanly. Then moving on down, it's Jasper.
Okay, let's fucking roll an attack on the same one as before.
Do it.
For fuck's sake. 7.
Yeah, 7 is not going to do it. Rory keeps you go for an overhand, and you stop yourself from hitting Rory as that kind of big swing comes through, or else you would have sliced right through his forearm.
It's my turn.
Moving on, it is all right. Jove, you're getting 2 attacks, but they have disadvantage.
I believe the first one has disadvantage.
First
Let
one
me
has
double check if it's
disadvantage.
all or
Okay.
just one.
Okay. Well, the first one's only a 9.
Yeah, the next attack roll.
Alright. So then this one is with regular advantage. That's a 19.
19 does hit.
19 does hit. Alright, Jove, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as the
Ouch.
as the first one he tries to go from down low, like an underhanded pitch with the mace, and catch you on the chin. You're able to lean back, but then he brings it back down with force and catches you right on the top of the noggin, and just boink. And you feel a huge ringing through your skull. Then, one for Rory, one for Jasper. All right, the one against Jasper, that's a 16.
Shield.
And then the one for Rory, that's only a 10.
Dodge.
All right, then it is Freddy.
Okay. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So I'm going to. I want to make sure I wasn't muted. I
You are
want
not.
to cast Healing Word. Boom, on Jove. And you get healed. 4. Hiya! Nice. 7 damage.
Boom. Back up to top.
The ringing goes away and is replaced by a beautiful chord and that same spearminty goodness.
And then I'm currently looking at the rules for casting a spell, and I can cast a cantrip with a casting time of 1 action, since Healing Word is a bonus action.
Yes, you can.
So I will Vicious Mockery him again.
That's an 8.
That
So
fails.
it fails.
Takes 3 psychic.
3 psychic.
Mm-hmm.
Putting the hurt on this man.
And that is my turn.
All right. Back to the top with Jove.
I'm going to continue to exchange blows with the dwarf in front of me. Spear attack, which is a 23.
23 will do.
Hit. And then gonna do 5 piercing damage.
5 piercing. All right. Yeah, another. You return the stab back as, he's hitting you from the top and you're hitting from below. With Freddy in between you, just hurling insults and a spray of colors, healing and harming all at the same time. Then
That's
it
good.
is Rory.
All right. We will go for another couple attacks on the one I'm engaged with. That's a nat 20.
Oh.
There it is.
And a 12 on the bonus attack if that hits.
A 12 just barely hits.
Just barely. Beautiful. Okay. So. Okay. Rolled a little low, but it's nice that we got the full damage on that at least.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's gonna be 13 bludgeoning damage total.
13. Damn. Yeah. You keep that spin going this whole time. It's almost like a pirouette that just didn't stop. And you get the first kind of bat and then elbow, and then this time you come back around with even more speed. You're picking up as you're kind of spitting on the balls of your feet, and you get another one. This one hits right. You can feel the breaking of bones in the neck as you shatter through there. And you lift one foot up to kind of slow you down, and with that foot out, you put the heel into that same side of the head, and as you're spinning around for a third strike. Or I guess technically this would be your 5th strike.
We're Beyblading them right now, guys. Spin the win. Do it.
Jasper.
Yeah, we're gonna swing that sword again. That's a 13 to hit.
A 13 does hit.
Yay! 4 damage.
4
Slashing.
damage is just enough. How do you want to do this?
Yes. It's not pretty work. She's basically just like bashing him with her sword over and over again until he goes down. Yeah, just catches him once in the neck real good.
Yeah, it actually goes. You're doing it with like the fist, almost using the pommel of the blade to kind of pack your fist, and poof, and you go a little wider on the second one, and part of the blade bites in, and you're just kind of moving slowly from one side of the face to the other with these strikes, and the blade is just kind of punching in, almost like you're dicing the front of this dwarf's face, and it's just a bloody mess by the time it's over. Uh, Rory, it's like you take the spin, and then suddenly there's just a pulp in front of you.
Oof.
The flames go out on this beard as it drops to the ground.
And I'll just get up in the other one's business.
Okay. It is speaking of the other one's business. It's its turn. So disadvantage on
Disadvantage on the first one.
first one. Ooh, that is gonna save you from a crit.
Yeah,
That's gonna make it a 17.
tinks off the shield if that was for me.
It was. Second one. Yeah, this one going after the bard. Doesn't like that. Ooh, that's a 19.
Yeah, that'll do.
Alright, that's 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
To quote the guy from Roblox. Ooh.
Wow.
Well
Beautiful.
done. Speaking of which, it's your to move. As you catch another one of these mace, this time to kind of the side of the head.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm a creature of my choice that I can see within range. So I'm gonna cast Healing Word on myself.
You can indeed do that.
Oh, another max heal. The D4 in this set rolls really well. I think
Yeah.
I have not rolled a single one on it. And I have only rolled 2 like twice, and they've both been in this session. So I get healed for 7.
You French inhale your own healing word.
Hell yeah.
A
Alright.
thing of beauty. And it really is spearminty.
What they say is true.
It is.
And then I'm gonna fucking vicious mockery him again.
Yeah, you are. It is.
I'm just gonna sing Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
That's an 11.
That fails. That's the wrong die. That's the right die. There's the one that I was too cocky to talk about before. Takes 1 psychic.
Alright.
But more importantly, he has disadvantage on his first attack next turn.
That he does. At the end of Freddy's turn, there is a huge bellowing kind of like whoa. And as this kind of rings out, the roof of this shack erupts into flame as screaming begins to drive out, and you can hear the sound of a door from the back being broken open. People begin running out, and from the front door, passing by you, Rory, you see 1, 2 individuals, and then third, a young woman with bright red hair runs out and screams back, "Sebastian!" As we go to the top with Jove.
Would Jove? Well, I guess the guy's still alive in front of me, right?
Yeah.
But would he have registered the Sebastian yell?
It would be impossible to miss any of this.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Okay, well-
it's all happening. I mean, 10 feet away. This shack
I
is
see.
now on fire. People are running out, screaming from it. With the loudest one being the cry for Sebastian.
Dope. All right. Well, there's a mean Firebeard guy in front of me, so I'm gonna hit him first.
Okay.
And I crit fail, so I get to re-roll. I love playing a halfling. And that puts me at 18
18
to
will
hit.
hit.
That's crazy.
I know. You
love
should have
that.
just
right?
stabbed Jasper. Is how
You're
that should
right.
have gone.
Yeah.
And then that will be for 6 piercing this time.
Yeah, another one. You are poking hole after hole after hole into this.
Yeah.
And I
Through
mean,
this
it's
time,
just
he's trying to like take out chunks of flesh on the dude's legs. He's trying to break down his base this whole time.
yeah, and just as always, as with all of your interactions with dwarves, they're just hardy, thick boys and goyles, and they're just so thick
Yeah.
that while you are doing damage and there is bleeding, it's not disrupting his base like other creatures you've stabbed in the nether regions.
And yeah, Jove will end his turn there.
Rory,
Alrighty. Coming off of that spin and that momentum, like almost like a fucking like Soul Calibur charge up move, he'll do like a long lunge after that to the last red bearded dude that is up. And we will go for a strike and then come up with a kick on him as well with the bonus action. So let's see. First one will hit with the 22.
that it will.
And we'll miss on the kick with the 7, so roll damage.
That it will not.
But I will hit him with the staff for 6 damage on that.
For 6 damage, how do you want to do this?
Beautiful. It's like all coming with like full momentum and all force of it, and with that lunge basically, it's like almost holding the pole like straight vertical and just slamming it down on the top of his head.
Oh, and it finally, Jove, you see this big spurt of blood just, from those low wounds just shoot out as this base does crumble from your wounds, as this bow staff just drives all the way straight down, and there's this awful as the flames extinguish from his beard.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Rory, you've used 10 feet of your movement.
Beautiful.
You're still in initiative, though.
Almost like with, I'm sure, like the blowback and the reverberation on that staff, on that hit, Rory would actually just end up dropping the staff and would yell out, "I'm going in," as he tries to make his way into the building as it's on fire.
You do. Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Will do. Ooh, not good. That's an 8.
That's an 8. You immediately, and it's all smoke. You suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Ooh.
So that is disadvantage on all ability checks.
Rough.
As you're moving into this, coughing up as this smoke is just filling into your lungs, burning it from the inside. You can see that what the inside is pretty sparse. It really is only just a shack. And you can see a large beam from the top has fallen, and there is currently a pinned, but still even on the ground, a very tall young man who is struggling to try to get this big burning beam off of him. Think Batman from Batman Begins.
I was about to say the line.
Perfect. If I have any movement left, I will get as close to him as possible.
Yeah, you are. The flames haven't hurt you yet, but you know the pain is coming. It is hot in here. You can feel that if, you are worried that, too much exposure in here will definitely burn your facial hair. But that is your turn, Rory. As we move down to Jasper.
Jasper's gonna run in drop her shield and run in as well.
Go ahead and make me that Constitution saving throw. Enter into the shack.
Yeah. 5.
This smoke, it's almost like it's malicious. It just and right into your lungs. You suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Cool. Well, I'll get over to the beam or as close as I can get.
Yeah, you are able to get him. It's not a huge shack.
Okay.
And you do see a young man currently pinned underneath, struggling with this beam.
I will help him with that beam.
Go ahead and with disadvantage, make an athletics check.
Okie dokie. That's a good first roll and a better second roll. So it's gonna be this is a check or a saving throw?
A check.
Okay, and that's gonna be a 16.
A 16. Even with the smoke burning your lungs, you just basically you take that big breath and you just hold it and just let it tear apart inside. But you strengthen yourself, you get your big gloves on this beam, and Jasper, you put all the energy through it. You bring it up, 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 over, and throw it to the side, and you're able to free this young man.
Nice.
All right, let's get you out of here.
He's coughing and crying, and you can see that there are bird marks in his clothing. He's covered in all sorts of blackened smoke, but acknowledges you. When would you go, Sebastian? Of course, that's when you would go. So, moving down, it is Freddy.
Can you just tell me what I'm looking at again?
Yeah,
So
you are
people
looking
like
at
burst it out.
Yeah, so there have been a number of individuals who have run out of this burning shack. One including a red-haired woman who called out for Sebastian. You saw
Right.
Rory and Jasper run into the building. The dwarves that you were fighting for are both seemingly dead, with their flaming beards snuffed out.
Okay, I don't see any like active threats though.
Not at this time, no.
Okay.
Besides a big burning shack.
Yeah, you knew what I meant, and I'm glad that you
I
answered
gotcha.
that way. So I'm gonna walk over and be like, are you Elvis? Talking to the red-haired lady.
Yeah, she Ilva, she says kind of abruptly.
Okay, so it is you. So we are actually here to help you. So whatever we say or do, if you could help us or not be afraid of us and not run, because we just need to help you and Sebastian get out safely.
Whatever you want, just get him out of there. She says.
We're working on.
She apparently your candor does not imply a sense of urgency for her. Like,
in fact, watch this. I'm gonna strum my chords and I'm like, "Hey Jasper, it'd be really nice if you hurried up." And then just like waves of magical sound go over to Jasper and give her bardic inspiration.
you didn't even do anything, she says as we move over to Joe.
The tuxedo mask. Throw the rose.
My work here is done.
Jove, it is your move.
So Jove is gonna look back, see that Freddy has got Ilva. He's gonna he's gonna stand kind of at the precipice of the door with all the smoke pouring out. He's gonna do a quick kind of look around. I'll say that he's mainly looking for dwarves in the mix. Does it look like in this chaos, is there anybody that is looking to harm? I know Freddy kind of was looking for that too, but do I see anybody like that looks like they're fleeing out the back, I guess, that is dwarvish?
Make me actually a nature check, Jove.
Nature. That's a 15.
A 15 on nature. Yeah, while you are looking out for dwarvish characters, what catches your eye more than that, you don't see anybody, but instead these flames. You've seen a good fire or two in your time.
Yeah.
What do they know about a Daleland bonfire? Nothing.
Not a thing.
But having been to a number of bonfires in your time, you can see that these flames are hugging inwards. They're not spreading out. Normally, you'd be afraid that it's going to catch other shacks on fire. But as they kind of flare out, they curve back in and almost come back down on top of the ceiling. You can see that it's rapidly burning far faster than any natural fire.
And then he's gonna look back at Freddy and whistle and says, "What's the deal with the magic fire?" And he's going to pull his cloak over his nose and mouth, and he already ran away once from his post today, and he's not going to let anybody behind. So he's going to go into the burning shack with kind of like a little bit of a face covering to help with the smoke.
Give me that Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Yes. All right. So that is a good and not so good, but still, I got a 19.
A 19, yeah, definitely having that front saves you, and being low since smoke rises. Keeps you low, so you're able to avoid the exhaustion, make your way in there, and you see Jasper finishing this just Herculean, just feat of strength as she lifts this kind of beam up. Rory clearly suffering in kind of this fire, and there you see Sebastian Stowe, who also locks eyes with you, who's tears streaming, coughing, just an absolute mess. You can see kind of the almost like a bird mark that goes across the chest from the beam. But you immediately recognize this as Sebastian Stowe.
Yeah, and he's going to kind of quickly reveal his face and try and smile at him. And he's going to take his rope that's like attached to his pack, and he's going to try and like throw the rope over to him and just yell pull. And then is going to try and kind of use that rope as a lead. I know it's not very big of a building, but still something to grab onto. And is going to walk, leaving that rope in his trail to... because he's looking like he's good enough to at least walk out of here, right?
Yeah.
Or is he going to get... Okay, cool. If he doesn't need to get carried or anything, then I'm going to throw him the rope. I'm going to start making my way out because I know I don't want to be standing in a hot building. So they have a path out now.
All right. It is actually, speaking of which, it is actually Sebastian's turn. So he grabs the rope and just kind of pulls himself along down through... Ooh, did we lose something? Nope, just me. Pulls himself along the rope and is able to get out of the building, coughing and doubled over. And immediately, Ilva runs over and kind of embraces him, and she's looking hands and face, and they're speaking and crying and just being, insulin worthy, sweet. Before moving over to Rory.
Alrighty. So with him out, can I tell right now, is there anybody else that is actually like in here or anyone else that's stuck at all?
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Let's see. Even with disadvantage, that's a 16.
16. There doesn't seem to be anybody else left in here. However, looking up, you can see that the roof is starting to collapse.
Gotcha. And he'll call that out to Jasper as well and say, the roof's coming down. We got to go now. And I will make my way out. In fact, I'll head to the door and I'll put an arm out too in case I need to help grab Jasper.
You do, which, Jasper.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you run back, and there's the arm waiting for you, for Rory, who grabs you, by like the forearms and pulls you out. And as you both kind of get clear of this, there's a as the shack collapses on itself, a huge thing of smoke rising up, kind of illuminating this whole area. As people are now starting to kind of come out from, different parts of the Zent Ghetto to see what is going on as the shack continues to burn. But we are now out of initiative.
Yeah, Jove is going to get out his water skin and share his water skin with Sebastian and Ilva. Or I guess more Sebastian than anything, and says, glad to see that you're both alive, but maybe we should get a little further away from the hustle and bustle so we can we'll just sort some things out real quick that involve the both of you. How's that sound?
Sebastian tries to say something and is caught by choke, so takes kind of the water skin and drinks some of it and kind of nods. And you see, his eyes are bloodshot, face kind of covered in soots. Just looks like Snowball from Hercules, where it's like, lost everything in the fire except for Snowball here, and taps like the whole sip. But is more than willing to follow you, Jove, out of there.
Well, and I guess if Freddie would have been there too, right? Because Freddie, you were with Ilva. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So Ilva and Sebastian are more than happy to follow wherever you guys are leading them.
Before, if we're just gonna leave the Zent Ghetto, the only thing that Jove wants to do before they leave the Zent Ghetto is pat down the dwarf dudes to see if there's any medallions or anything of import on them.
You can make an investigation check.
As an 18.
An 18, besides the maces and a crossbow that was attached to their back, nothing really of value, nothing out of the ordinary. They're wearing basically leather armor, no important distinctions. Their beards are, on the one that didn't get their face completely crushed in, is there, but no longer on fire. In death, they just seem like normal dwarves.
You satisfied with that?
You guys make your way out of the Zent ghettos, passing by a group of soldiery who are going by. You can always tell soldiery because they have the full, metal armor that comes in kind of the orange and reds and greens of Mole Master, bearing kind of the Mole Master M on the front of kind of their armor. They move with efficiency and just an air of command that is completely lacking from the City Watch. As you see a group of them, and they're already making kind of a bucket line of getting water into the Zent Ghetto. They're surprisingly fast. But you all are able to make your way out of the Zent Ghetto. Where are you guys going?
Should we?
During that, actually, I think I'd even ask. I'd ask Ilva, "Do you have any family here? Anywhere you're supposed to be right now? Someone that's looking for you?"
No, it's just me. You're from Flan. Everybody else is whatever's left back there.
Well, for now, I don't know, guys. Maybe we could take her back to her friend that we met.
That seems like the best plan.
That's probably where we'll get the most privacy at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys head your way back into the city, back towards the Leaning Boots. You duck down into that alleyway and knock on the locked door of Mixie's, where she opens the door, looks and sees Ilva, and immediately unlocks the door and embraces her. Sebastian there as well, starting to look better, still, dirty and, looks like he just walked out of a fire, but he seems to be breathing all right. And of course, says, "Yeah, thanks you, Jove." Although his voice comes in a little quiet and squeakier in some places and more hoarse in other places. Before Mixie allows you all into kind of her apartment around the corner from the Leaning Boots, and the room is yours.
Well, Sebastian, you're very welcome. I told you that I'd always be willing to help. Though I have to say that one of the reasons we were out there in the ghetto tonight was, you know, we were looking for you, Sebastian, and sure it doesn't take too much of a guess to say who gave us the pack of gold to come find you.
Well, at least he didn't kick you in the chest this time, Jove.
You don't know that.
Yeah, well, at least not yet. So we'll see how he takes with all of this. Yeah, he seemed pretty unhappy that you were gone for so long, and I think he just wanted you back home safe and sound. He said not a scratch on you, anything like that. Didn't want any trouble for you, but yeah, he really has it out for this little love connection you two got going on, and he'll kind of raise his eyebrows and give a little to Ilva and Sebastian. And
Well,
speaking
father's
of-
always upset, so that's nothing new.
yeah, so and he'll kind of look around to the rest of the party and says, "Well, I know this has been kind of a bit of a scare here, but look, Sebastian, we've been hired for a job, and we got to be taking you back home here pretty soon. And Ilva, I know we haven't made the acquaintance, but Sebastian's told me a good bit about you and heard good things from your friend Mixie, and even your old boss, who's been missing you over there. I'm sure this comes as no surprise, but it might be best for you two to be a little more incognito than you have been, if you're going to keep this flame a fluttering, as it were. And really, I don't know if there's much else to say about it than that. So,
Ilva and Sebastian share a look, kind of had that nonverbal communication conversation before Sebastian kind of nods and looks and says, "Thank you for everything that you've done. I will return with you, though I would be lying if I said that I wouldn't be returning to here at some point. So if you do get paid once again to return me in the future, I hope I will make it easier than this last time. But, Jove, I think
speaking
you
of
know
which,
the story of my heart. I could stay away even if I wanted to."
yeah, speaking of staying away, I can't believe this just came to mind, but y'all mind telling us what the fuck just happened back there?
Exactly. Two lovers going off is one thing, but well, mercy does not often come twice. You two are lucky, and I think it'd be in your best interest to stay away from that trouble and seek some help here with us.
In case you didn't pick it up, what they're saying is, what the fuck is up with the fire cult?
Listen, and Ilva speaks up.
He says it better than me. Thank you.
I know it seems like it's probably really bad because it is, because fire and all that good stuff, but I swear the dwarf and had the speaker didn't do anything wrong or illegal or didn't even see him cast anything. I mean, 1 second we're there listening, telling us how to use our passions to get what we want, to stay together, even if others don't understand, as she looks over to Sebastian. And, while we were there, it was like there was this bright flash, and then he was gone, and everything was on fire, and I don't know. It just, I wish you could all have heard it. It really pulls on you. It's, when you lose everything, you just want to kind of burn it all away and start new. Do any of you guys understand that?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I can relate.
So I wish I could tell you more, but I mean, Mixie and Sebastian can back me up here. I mean, really, all he was a really good speaker that, encouraged us, especially us refugees, to, really go after what you wanted in life. I just didn't think it was almost going to cost me what I really wanted in life. She grabs Sebastian's hand.
Well, whatever was going on there, that fire was looking funky. The dwarves out front, their beards went straight up into a flame somehow, not burning them, on their faces. And when we came in and we were trying to, well, find y'all, when my friend here signified that he was with the cloaks, well, shit went haywire, which is usually not the type of behavior people take to when they're up to good. So all I'm going to say is that you two are, well, maybe you're, I don't know what the age of consent and adulthood here is in Mulemaster, but you're young adults making your way on to adulthood, and you're going to be making your own decisions here. Don't let yourself get taken advantage of. I was in Flan, Ilva, when, well, when it happened, we'll say. And I saw the destruction, and I think history and stories show that smooth talking, powerful fellas can take advantage of those who are, as you said, who have lost everything and are looking to burn everything else down in their wake. So make sure that whatever you're getting is actually a gift and not a curse, or worse, that you're getting turned into something you don't even want to be.
I'll
Other
keep
way
that
of
in mind.
putting-
I was, thought I was in the clear since it wasn't a giant green dragon. So, really played me for a fool on that one.
Another easy way to look at it too, as as Rory would grab his staff and lightly kind of like poke a little bit at Sebastian's chest. Next time around, I would be listening to the fire that's in there, young one, not the one that someone's trying to sell you. You'll be happier in the end.
Sebastian kind of touches the chest kind of gingerly where you poke, but nods and looks to Ilva and grabs her hands and says, "Okay, I don't know when, but I'll be back for you." She nods and they share a quick kiss before Sebastian kind of smooths himself down, wipes the black soot off of his face, which turns into red skin underneath. Kind of puts himself best together. It doesn't work well. He still kind of looks like shit. It says, "All right, Jove, and sorry, I don't think I've got the rest of your names. Do you call yourself something?"
Jasper.
Jasper?
Freddy.
Freddy?
Rornik.
Ronick, thank you all for saving my life. I very much would have burned to death, which would have been a rather tragic tale to this. But all right, let us go and return to my father for the time being.
And real quick, Rornik will actually kind of turn to the group and kind of say quietly, "Do you think if we mention he almost burned, we'll get more money or no?"
I think that will make the dad more angry, which is something we do not need.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
keep
just
it
leave
hushed.
it.
Right. Keep it hushed lips. I figured you guys have a better insight on that one.
As Sebastian leads you out through the apartment, Ilva actually runs up and catches you, Joe, before you leave, and hands you a small vial filled with an icy blue liquid. And she says, Sebastian's told me what, about your conversation, and even if it's in a roundabout way, thanks. So, that dwarf that I was talking about gave this to me once. Maybe it'll help you out sometime.
Many thanks, young lady.
And she heads back into the apartment, into Mixie's apartment. Joe, go ahead and write down 1 potion of fire resistance.
Yay!
Sebastian leads you through the city before going to another lavish estate. Within eyes distance, the Tower of Blades, where the High Blade and the other noble, the 16 noble blades, all kind of have their residence. Sebastian sees kind of the guards up front, and he raises a hand, and they part ways, and he turns back to look at you all and says, "Thank you. I hope that we meet again under better and better circumstances. Sorry for the trouble I seem to always be causing you, especially you, Jove."
Well, hey, at least this time you lined my pocket with some gold instead of getting your father's foot to my chest. So you know where to find us, Sebastian. You're good folk, and we here our rowdy bunch that we got. If you need us for anything, let us know.
I believe I shall, and begins to head towards the estates and goes over to one of the guards, and you hear him say, "How much is father paying them on retainer?" Zor Sebastian, he has 100 gold waiting for them upon your arrival. Double it. But my lord Zor, that would have to come out of our... I said double it. Yes, Zor. And the guard comes up to you and hands you 2 sacks, each with 100 gold pieces inside of them. Before returning back to his post. And I believe that is where we're going to end it for today.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
Money.
yeah, 50 gold a pop, right? Nice.
That's beautiful.
It would have been 50 gold a pop, but now you have an extra 100 to split, so it's actually 75. 75 gold a pop.
Ooh.
75
5 a pop.
I will take it.
So, for defeating 3 bandits and 2 thugs and rescuing Sebastian, I believe that comes out to, let's make that even. Everybody gains 125 experience points, and I believe that takes us to level 2.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
It sure do.
Welcome to level 2, guys. You got out of the squishiest part of the game.
For real though.
I believe level 2 for most of you guys is not choosing the subclasses.
That's level 3 for me.
That's
Yeah.
level 3 for bards. But Jasper, you finally get your action surge.
That'll be nice.
Yep. Kyle, we talked about what level 2 looks like for you.
Yes, I get spellcasting, and I get the fighting style of thrown weapon fighting.
Nice.
Nice. Does everybody want to just go ahead and roll their hit dice right now?
I'm gonna take average.
Yeah, you know I'm not rolling mine.
You can either roll or take the average, barring ones. We do not accept ones. That's too much of a punishment. But if you'd like to roll or take the average, let me know now. So average for Jasper, average for Freddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it brings me to 20 HP.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
frisky. I'm gonna roll for it. I shit you not, I just got a 10. So that's another 13.
Yay!
I just
Look at
doubled my
you.
health. Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Excellent. And Rornak.
I am honestly, I'm gonna play it safe here and take the average. So that brings me to 17 HP.
I'm at 17 as well.
Looky.
And we're at now as a group 350 XP total. Was I getting
That's
that
what
right?
I have.
Gotcha.
I'm at 353.
Oh, that's right.
Oh
Right.
boy.
those plus ones are adding up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. And then everybody, so it's 125 experience points for this session, 5 downtime days.
Okay.
Jove, you have the potion of fire resistance, and then should be 75 gold pieces for everybody for completing this. And I believe that I think it's time to say goodnight, chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night,
Good
chat.
night.
Great chat.
So Abbott Costello, another TV viewer, Electrical Longboard, FTO Pyre, Go With Him, Let's Do This Music, Violet's TV, and my cousin Tanner, who decided to follow and check in on this. Thanks, cuz. I appreciate you sticking to what you said you were going to do. Big mood. Also, Maddie as well. All right, everybody. Night. See you next Sunday for episode 4. This one, actually, I can say the name of this one. I was pretty sure we were going to go down this path, but you never know. Things could always change. For Love Like Raging Fire.
Ah.
Oops.
Oops. All right. Good night, chat.